Hello, everyone. Let's make sure Nightbot's here. Nightbot might take a couple seconds to get into the chat, actually. Hold on. I think it also announces its presence. I'm not 100% sure, though. Let's make sure everything's up and running. You're killing me, dude. What are you doing? There you go. What do you mean? Dude said no data. I was like, oh no. What's happening here? Oh, I know what's happening here. Yeah. Thank you. Let's double check, make sure everything's up and running correctly. There's like a new thing in Android 15 where like every couple notches you bring the volume up or down, your phone vibrates, and it's weirding me out. Nightbot still isn't here, huh? Oh, that's a little weird. Give me a second, y'all. Put me in, coach. What's happening? Oh, actually, you know what? Hold on. Take this over here. I do think he takes like a couple seconds to come in. I'm not 100% sure, but oh, I'm on the wrong one. That's why. Hold on. Oh, there he is. Okay, Nightbot's in, and that means I'm going to switch over, make sure Twitch is up and running. Boop. That should be good to go now. Boop. Let me just double check. Twitch is, in fact, up and running. So, that being said, boink. It is time to start. I'm going. Ehwaz, you're here! Yay. Because this one might be all about you! I was waiting for Nightbot. Apparently, Nightbot can come into like Twitch way faster than YouTube. Because, like, he's there. He's always there in Twitch. But YouTube, like, he takes a chill pill or something. It takes him forever to get over there. I don't know what that's about. That's really weird. I don't know what you're doing. Why are you taking so dang long? It's weird. Weird. But yeah, tonight is a very special DM Roundtable because we're going over our very first live on air user suggestion. I guess this means I have to go into the Twitch settings and hit the button. Oh, because I can see. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Hold on one sec. That is a thing I can do on Twitch. It's going to play somebody else's stream. Stop that. No. Nope. Get out of here. Nobody cares about you, whoever you are. No. Oh, it's not. Here it is. It's manage stream, I think. Yeah. I can go in and see. No. Okay, that's not it, Chief. There we go. I don't know how to. No. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's in a different one. Interesting. We are gonna mark this one as complete. Ba-ba-ba-bum! I did get a Monster Hunter Wild, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. What? That's awesome! Welcome, welcome! It's a special one. Our first live on air user suggested one. I'm gonna ping the rest of the DMs. Maybe it'll speed them up, but probably not. They're late usually. Well, technically we're a little early. He's all good. Okay, I do have a question. What game system is FC? That is something I have to look up. Huh. It took me a while to get in here. The Nightbot for YouTube is, I don't know why. He's so janky compared to Twitch Nightbot, even though it should be the same thing. Well, hello there.
Hello.
To be honest, I don't know if I use that voice because I just listened to the AD&D CD.
I wasn't quite sure the origin of that one. I just felt I should meet it in similar tone. It only felt appropriate. What's going on, everybody? Ehwaz, I see you chilling out there lurking. Not even lurking.
We don't need lurkers.
I feel like Ehwaz is just like, I refuse to be a lurker. You will know my presence.
Oh. Yeah, I went and looked up like a little primer, and they were like, oh, it's by Spycraft. And honestly, I think Spycraft might be good for Grimjack. Oh. I have much more stuff to look into now. I also figured... Okay, so at first I had just used your site search to pop up all the Equinoi stuff. And then I realized that one of the pages is if you're playing them in FC. And I was like, oh. So I went through my bookmarks and I was like, who else would fit in with horses? And I found a deer homebrew race. I was like, you know what? Tonight's going to be Hoof World. Good. We have one, actually one of the DMs from DM Roundtable is quite well known for texting and driving, so don't be like him. It is not DM Shin, though.
It's not. It's not. I think I do the opposite. I'm probably the safest. Though also don't let somebody look at magic cards while you're driving.
I wasn't even looking at them.
I just know.
So, context-wise, one time I was driving home from work, and Jinakechi had given me a box of cards, but there was no top to the box. He was just like, I'm never going to use these cards anyway, so they're all yours now. And I was like, oh my god, thanks, man. And I put them in my card. He was like, do you want me to put them like on the floor in case they spill? And I was like, man, it'll be fine. And halfway home, somebody stopped short in front of me. The box slides forward, hits the back of the passenger chair. All the cards fly out across my windshield. And you know, like when it's like kind of like a Final Destination moment where like the cards are like gambit through them all over my car, and I just like resigned to my fate in that moment. I was like, I'm gonna get killed by magic cards. Excellent.
I think my favorite part though is when you called me after I think the adrenaline had settled. All you said to me was, "So I almost got killed by magic cards," and my only response was, "Huh? What?" Because in my mind, the list of things that could have occurred just exploded like 4th of July fireworks.
Oh man, that good old fashioned Frank Frazetta art. You know, if any of you have ever stopped to watch Unfairy Tales, I'm pretty sure my dad definitely likes Frank Frazetta art, but only the ladies, obviously, not the men's. I feel like that's in his wheelhouse. I feel like that's in the wheelhouse.
Probably.
I think. I don't know if we want to. Well, okay. So things to catch up on. The thank you stream for this month decided Friday we're going to play Marvel Rivals. I'm sorry, Ehwaz, you're going to be at work or doing other stuff. But you can come bother me to play Marvel Rivals any day because I do my dailies like every day. You and Ace. I should make a group chat with you and Ace. Oh, maybe also Evil Crossover. He's always bummed that we play without him. I'm like, bro, you're always streaming. Like, I don't want to bother you while you're streaming.
You'll find it content.
True. Whoa.
Join you, depending on how my Friday looks, I might join you guys.
Aw, hell yeah.
I might appear.
I mean, it's kind of late right now, but apparently Goodwill has a sale going on today, or at least they do in the West. I didn't hear anything about the Goodwill by me, but I think it's a national thing. They're having a sale today. You're talking about antique stores. Sometimes you can find some good stuff at a Goodwill.
I found some classic games at a Goodwill. And good DVDs. Just old classics.
My Goodwill doesn't have any fun electronics anymore. They swapped them all out for jewelry, and I was like, who's donating jewelry to Goodwill?
A lot of people, apparently, I found out.
Huh.
Like, it's a hot commodity by... What's left of the one by closest to me? Or the one close to my job, actually. There's like only jewelry left. I don't know what happened.
Interesting. Okay, well, but what? Also, no vote today because we're gonna do something special next week. It's next week, right?
Yeah.
Good,
No,
'cause
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Uh-oh. Oh, you're right. I gotta fix the poll. Give me a second. Okay, next
But
week
that
there
does
won't
bring
be
up
a
a good
poll.
point.
Would you like to tell us something? DM Shin?
Oh, pardon me, as I
Please don't die.
take a deep breath. So, it just so happens that this year, the very first episode of May of DM Roundtable also happens to fall on my birthday.
Woo woo!
And so, for the first time, I'm both live streaming and for the roundtable to actually do it, we are going to play something on the roundtable. We are going to play the first run of the beta of my game that I explained and showed bits of during the show and tell. I have been working on it since then. Still working on it. It's great that I have 2 weeks left. Not that I have that much to do, but just because as I look at stuff, as I do new things, I look at old things and I'm like, I want to do this better. So it's just become a tireless process. But I would like to reach out to see if anyone in the crowd might be willing to join DM Okami and DM Lakara in the tireless, perilous world of my creation known as Cardina. I am going to be reaching out to some other DMs and people that I know to play, but if anyone out there wants to, maybe Okami can throw it up as a Patreon post for everybody.
That's a good idea.
Throw it out there for the subscribers and the patrons and all the people.
Oh, that's both very good ideas.
But if you're interested, message me on the Discord, or you can at me in the Okami Gakure, and I will message you, and then we can coordinate, because I want to do a rule 0 beforehand to explain the rules, let everybody pick stuff so that we can get the full experience of the 2 hours of playtime. With time to also explain things also, because there will be questions, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. It's question time.
But yeah, that's going to be in 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
It's actually, and it's funny that it's going to be the first time we actually play something on the roundtable. But who knows? Maybe this will actually open our eyes to playing things on the roundtable.
It's true. I really hope so. Well, I mean, I also hope. Well, maybe we use this as a trial run on how to get people to come in for it as well. The Patreon post and the YouTube post. And obviously the Discord post as well. I'll make a post in the Discord for sure. We still have plans to play an all commoner background game and an empowered game. Just eventually. We have
not abandoned those ideas.
I am guessing that closer to Comic-Con. I just had an exceptional brain fart. Depending on how long. Yeah, depending on how long Dungeon Mommy stays for Comic-Con, maybe we do it live. Maybe.
Oh my god. Yes.
Didn't think of that until just now, but maybe.
Oh, I am brimming with excitement.
Oh, this could be real good. I don't want to start until DM Lakara gets here because I want her to read this thing from King Lear because she has mentioned King Lear many times.
I love that this is going to happen today. What are we looking at today, Okami? I am curious.
We
Don't have
are
to tell us the actual topic, but what topic won last week?
The Horfs one. Ehwaz suggested Horfs, and I went in to my Twitch creator dashboard thing, and I looked, and I was like, user suggestions for lore pass down, and I went over to races and homebrew items, and I had one in there from Ehwaz that said Equinoi, and I hit mark completed, which I probably haven't hit mark completed on anything in there in, I don't know, like a year.
Hmm.
To be fair, there were only
We're
5
back.
things in there, so we're doing pretty good.
We're back. Oh yeah.
3 of them are also games I don't own, so I have to see if buying them is worth it.
Yeah. Baby steps. But we are looking at Horfs, which is exciting and scary. Because I do not know how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Not only are we going to look at the Equinoi race, but wait, okay, so Malachite is in the chat. But the site is Malachite Idol, but do you want us to go for Malachite Tiger, or should we call you Malachite, or should we call you Idol? What do you want to be called?
Great question. We like to go by people's preferred title.
Alternatively, we could also go with Horfman for this episode, but I feel like, or Horf Lady, whatever you prefer. I feel like the other ones would be easier.
The Stable Master.
The Stable Master. Oh my god.
Yeah, I did that.
Wait, there's another one besides Equinoi? I didn't even check. I only checked Equinoi, and then I also brought up there are more sub-races or sub-lineages. I don't know what they call them in the new book. Sub-lineage?
I get. Well, there's no races, it's species, so subspecies? I don't know. Watch it got too confusing.
And then, if there's time, we'll also check out some Cervidaens, of which there are 3 subspecies, subraces.
Looks like we've got a pretty fun-packed episode.
Yeah. We'll give... Oh, actually. Okay, I'll give DM Makara 3 more minutes to hop in. Oh.
Ooh.
You've been polymorphed? Oh no? Question mark?
I just read some lore.
Yeah, this was the lore passed down.
You know how I get it when I get lore.
Oh, we're going to take a look at both of them today. The lore. You know who else loves lore? Murmur. Murmur's just here for some lore. I heard there was a story I could steal.
You lore-hungry bastard, Murmur. I love you. I love him so much. Not as much as I love this little guy, though.
Huh.
It's the only one I know. It's Raki.
Raki's also a great choice. He doesn't need to be as upset, though. Well, I guess if they're stomping around, he might be worried, so he might be upset about that. Like, hey, I'm down here. Hey, I'm tiny.
Hey, well, it's 10 out of 10 for a TNG joke. 10 out of 10.
You know who would love that? MT. I'm gonna have to send that to him later.
Card's bald head. It's the reason I got through space.
We're gonna be taking a look at that one a little bit later. Oh wait, or is it different than these? Oh no, I didn't read anymore.
You can read?
Sometimes.
You lied to me.
All right. I'm gonna skip the part from King Lear so DM Lakara can read it when she comes in. We'll just pretend that we did that. We'll retcon.
We're determined.
Yeah. We're gonna retcon that. Pretend it happened in that order. Ha ha!
But could you share?
Oh, I sure can. For those of you on YouTube, you can drop the description, follow along. For those of you on Twitch, I'm going to pop open the link and pin it for the next 30 minutes. Bloink. But I'm pretty sure you already have it, Malachite. Just a guess. Just a guess.
So this is a rare moment where the author is with us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's ever happened. We always make the joke.
That's true. We've only had an author come in after we've made the stream to leave comments. We never actually had one in the chat.
That's true. It's going to be different. I'm excited.
Does this mean I have to take a screenshot of the entire chat? Because I have a folder that's just called comments from important people. And I take screenshots when authors leave comments. I can screenshot the whole chat.
We might just have to. We might just have to. We just might have to. Lord, I can't speak English for a second. We might just have to. What? I'm sorry, I spoke in Yoda for a moment.
It happens. It's just who we are. So with that being said, I think we're going to start the Equinoi. I'm going to change the music up.
Get a little galloping.
I don't know if it's going to give you the same feel you intended, Malachite, but music's different.
Tabletop is all about interpretation.
True. I was trying to find a cool, like, just because they're horses, I wanted like a nice, cool, like running through the desert and plains feel. But then I was like,
should have hit up Speedy.
Oh.
You know he has it.
True. Oh, I didn't even think of that. He for sure has whatever we would possibly need. He can put it with his bolo tie.
Good. But I will say off the bat,
that's so cool.
The idea of fleshing out and having established like just species, I guess is that I was trying to think of what the current 2024 word is. Species. Just fleshed out this way is really cool. I have to say, it's super cool to see. And I'm imagining that this was written. Do you know if this was written for? Or actually, we could ask. Was this written for old 2014 5e or 2024?
I'm gonna guess 2014, right, Malachite? I was going to play something that was will say Lord of the Rings inspired, actually. And then I was like, this one sounds more like wildernessy. Oh no, DM Lakara can't make it. I hope everything's okay.
Oh. Well, it's just us tonight then.
I guess so. We don't blame you. We also don't like 2024 rules most of the time. Bastions are stupid.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that at all. I will tell you, Malachite, if you enjoy the, as we always joke, the ROLE play of tabletop, 2024 is not for, it's going to be a little harder to digest. Personally, it was for me at least. And I think we had some trouble doing that on the roundtable as well when we reviewed it. Definitely over gamifies tabletop.
That's a good way to put it.
I think 2024 is made for people who got into D&D because they've only ever played Baldur's Gate 3.
That's a very good way to put it. There's also a lot of onus in the 2024 rules on like you knowing exactly what your character's going to be from their inception without having like any, you don't really deviate. In some cases you're even punished for deviating.
Yeah. And it also puts, I think, way too much pressure. I don't even want to call it pressure, but as a DM, because these characters are designed to go from 1 to 20 from inception, you as a DM have to have a campaign ready for 1 to 20. Oh, yeah, well, you came in at the same time I did.
You came in at a good time.
End at 3.5. I was like the middle end of 3. Actually, I came in a little bit in the middle of 3.5, and I was just like, I'm gonna stay here. That was a different time, okay? That was
when you said Baldur's Gate 3, Dex's icon on Discord lit up and was like, I'm now playing Baldur's Gate 3. Like you just set it up for him. You just turned it on.
I'm actually secretly also his Cortana.
Oh my god.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that I double as a Cortana unit. You can actually install me on your Alexa too. I'm working on getting into your series.
That's one of the I see Spellsword as a class, like a homebrew class, get advertised the most. I think I have one in the repository.
It was fun.
But like everyone's trying to get that feel, that flavor back.
Because it was actually a fun fusion of the two. Not all the butchered versions they keep trying to feed us in different ways.
And to the people out there who are like, well, Eldritch Knight is just a spell sword. It's not really the same.
No, you had a very different outlook on the way you played as a spell sword.
Good. Crunchy flavor. We like that here.
You said some positive keywords just now that
Activator phrases. Activator phrases.
Well, let's get into it. Would you like to, in DM Lakara's stead, read from King Lear, DM O'Connor? Start us off.
Equinoi, strong and proud. Have more than thou showest, speak less than thou knowest, lend less than thou owest, learn more than thou trowest. I don't know what that is. Now that I'm reading it, I thought nope, there's not 2 lines of throwest. I'm bad at this. Set less than thou throwest. I'm going to guess it's trowest. I'm going to guess. I don't know. Or no, it would be trowest to rhyme with oest, my guess. I don't know. Obviously, I did not take AP English. What's up, Ace? No, don't blow up. You have to live so we can play Rivals at some point. Okay? Okay?
I'd appreciate a lack of combustion. Okay, thanks.
Who will proselytize predecessor if you go?
It's true. I can't carry that torch. I'm not that strong.
Ooh. Okay, okay. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I did obviously skip ahead a little bit. Would you like to tell us about the ideas of the Equinoi? DM Shin?
Oh, of course. The Equinoi. The Equinoi are tall, muscled, horse-like humanoids. They have bodies covered in short coat of hair that is typically black, brown, orange, light tan, blue-gray, or some mixture thereof, although some have much more exotic patterns. Also, like horses, they have strong hard hooves for feet and hairy tails and manes that they groom carefully. I like that this instills an idea of how you want to treat yourself as an Equinoi, because giving me the idea that they're very proud in their appearance from just noting that they groom themselves carefully means that there might be, and we'll find out later, of course, there might be some onus on presentation of mane, like representing status. Like I think of in Dolmen Wood, it's another TTRPG system, but in Dolmen Wood there is a race of creatures called the Bregel, which are goat people, and honor and rank and status is based on your horn size.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if maybe there's something similar here, just judging from that statement. I don't want to spoil it for myself, but I'm excited. I like that kind of stuff. I'm just saying. But Equinoi usually prefer a peaceful, hard-working life and are fond of farming, but wanderlust is not rare, and many choose to join military forces in times of crisis, as they are well suited to the task of keeping their homes safe from outside incursions. So like I said, you're getting the idea that similar to some of the other peaceful races of, D&D lore, and just the planes in general as it comes in, most creatures in tabletops, you're probably playing this race as someone who's stepping into the fray of battle because there's a call for it, not because you're some kind of, or rarely because you're some kind of battle hungry, I'm sure, warmonger. I'm sure they exist, like in any group, but I feel like the standard Equinoi that you run up to is gonna be like, oh hey, how are you? Welcome to my farm. Not like I've come to bathe in the blood of your innocence.
I don't know if any of you have ever seen Mushoku Tensei, but after the teleport incident and they go to the demon continent, there are like horse people on the demon continent. And one of them's a real big jerk, but he's a real big, strong jerk. And then he sees one of his friends get punched in the chest and explode, and he is no longer a jerk. And I was like, sometimes you just gotta show them that you can blow up your friend. You gotta blow up their friends.
Happens sometimes. But continuing on, as we continue through the Equinoi, we note that they are industrious and strong. That aside from their horse-like coats and heads, the most obvious trait Equinoi share with horses is their muscular physique. Boys is yoked. Some jacked horses. No steroids. I hope. An individual may be lean and have muscles that taut cord, or be stout and bulky. But only the
Yo, we suck at English today. This is real bad.
Do. No, it's also I had to lean in. I have to dumb my screen down. But only the sickliest lack visible muscle tone entirely. Equinoi soldiers and city guards are often utilized as much for their physiological impact their appearance has as for their considerable talent at arms if they are trained for it. It is not unusual to see an Equinoi farmer hauling several bushels of produce at a time without even being slowed, or pulling a handcart the size of a gnomish caravan wagon. So they're strong. I like that. You maintained the actual physical dominance that a horse has. Like when you think about it, 2 horses would pull an entire carriage full of people and supplies and the caravan and the wagon. That's impressive. That takes some strength if you really think about it.
Also, I think you were right. Seems like they do like to show off what's happening. You know, like, oh yeah, I'm so good. I already have an idea for an Equinoi. That's gotta be like every time they walk by, the wind blows, and they let their mane flow behind them.
I got it.
Actually, I think it is a horse. What is the name? There's a cartoon on Cartoon Network, where the main character is a deer and he's a prince, but he sucks at everything. I think it's the horse family that love to show off. I can't think of its name. I can't even think of what that show is. It's basically like a really, really bad Humblewood D&D campaign is what that show is. I cannot think of the name. It's Prince something. I mean, hey. Oh, and then the tail does the flicky thing. Sorry, I just thought of what happens when you walk in a line. Like, your horses are all walking in a line when you go to like a resort, and they don't stop to poop. They just flick their tails and it goes everywhere.
I know. There's no breaks. There's no breaks. You just go about your day.
Got places to be.
Got people to see and places to be.
You really have missed nothing except Adventure Time and perhaps Steven Universe. I don't think you missed anything else. That was good punctuation on the music's part to my statement. We've got many forms. They come in a dizzying variety of shapes and sizes. I was thinking before when you said like mixes and matches of colors that you could even do like famous dogs on Instagram. I'm assuming also horses. I don't get a lot of horse content, but dog content I get tons of when they have like little designs into their fur in different colors and stuff, like little hearts on dogs and cats. Oh. Oh, and you made their origins lost from history. That's good. So you can have anybody put it in instead of the can't think of it. Like the Goliaths. Now they have official lore, but before that, it was all like, here's like 6 different lores. Pick one. You could just say it's whatever you
Oh,
want, man.
when they weren't sure who they descended from and how
Yep.
they existed, and yeah, I remember those dark days.
Like a Beyblade? I don't like that.
I don't think we should let it rip.
I mean, maybe. I actually did look at a compilation of silly horses today, probably because my phone was reading what I was looking at on Malachite's site, and it was like, "Oh, you like horses now?" And I was like, I guess."
Well, one other thing I think that's kind of cool to note is that Equinoi are friends of small folk. Not to skip ahead, but
No, go.
I feel
for
like
it.
it's definitely cool that you noted that they're friends of small folk. Equinoi, the typically are agrarian lifestyle. Wow, that's a word
We're real bad at
no,
English today. I
no,
feel
no,
like
no.
we're nervous, which is weird because we've said such wild things in the past that we have no reason to be nervous.
Absolutely. But also my grip on the English language just seems to slip me because I'm using words that I don't get to use often that my brain recognizes. The typical agrarian lifestyle of Equinoi communities is remarkably similar to that of halflings, aside from the halfling fondness for digging structures into the side of hills. They sure do love their burrows.
Oh.
Hobbits. Because we couldn't say hobbits, thanks to Tolkien. The two species settle side by side, creating curious communities with buildings designed to comfortably accommodate two very different scales of people. That's amazing that they literally are BFFs with, like, they have a symbiotic relationship with the halflings.
Aw.
I'm now just imagining that there's a door that's horse sized, like Equinoi shaped, and then there's like in that door, there's a second door that's only large enough for a halfling to go through. Like they don't have to open the grand door; they just open a tiny, smaller door that's built into the first door.
But it's in reverse because now it's not the animal one. Oh, I like that. I like that a
Mhm.
lot.
But they note that even halfling caravan communities often have one or two families of Equinoi traveling along with them. These interactions between two species are so routinely fruitful and friendly that Equinoi are more likely to worship halfling gods than any other religion. That's a cool thing too, that they adopt halfling gods.
I
You
don't
don't
know if
think
I've
about
ever.
God.
Maybe I've come across something like that, like one time. That's super clever. They're so ingrained in halfling lifestyle.
I mean, now mind you, you don't think often of the halfling pantheon.
Also, that.
One that I know that name stands out to me because I love to play halflings in games. There's something I love to, so I think halflings being hobbits just naturally gravitated towards me instantaneously.
I could see that. I guess I'm basic. I mostly just play humans, now that I think about it. I played a dwarf once. Oh, and an elephant. Okay, I'm not that basic.
I think human. I only play human outside. I only play human in basic, like a basic or advanced D&D games because humans are OP.
I could see that. Ooh.
They're just the middle ground, and being the middle ground is really important sometimes in those games. Specifically, back me. You want the middle
I
ground.
could see that. Yeah. Because I'm sure if you have something really good about you, you also have something really bad.
Terrible. The Stalwart is supposed to be the Clydesdales and stuff.
True. Like, explaining to my players, we have a Goliath in the campaign that I'm running, and the rest of my players are like, well, he's medium, so he can't reach outside of his little 5-foot box. And I'm like, he's technically taller. Like, his area of I forgot what it's called. His area of influence, there we go, is bigger than 5 feet. He's tall, but he's still medium. They're like, well, then he's not medium. I'm like, no, he's still medium. He just has a wider area of influence than you. He got a big wingspan. He will accidentally slap the crap out of someone.
It happens.
I'm waving my arms around like I have the camera on. I don't have the camera on. I don't think.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Well, Gavi, why don't we get a little bit more into the etymology of the Equinoi and start understanding naming conventions, which, as I am a stickler for this kind of stuff, I will purposely find out how naming conventions work for a race and stick to it. I find it much more fun. I don't want to, though sometimes if I want to be silly, I will be like the Dragonborn named Dave.
I made a mistake in reading the Lost Mines of Phandelver thing at the beginning, and I accidentally made one of my halflings an elf. It's canonically a halfling, but I made them an elf because they're Marigold Brightshine. Sure, that could be, but the way that they described them sounded like an elf to me, like lithe and agile and pretty, and I was like, oh, okay. And I never read the part about it being a halfling. So I like to throw my players off by mixing up races. And then Grimjack, you're in the chat. I feel like this doesn't affect you, but in my mind, when I mix up the names between races, I hope that one of you is like, oh, I bet one of his ancestors was that other race.
I wish. I wish they did.
Welsh is so hard to read for no reason.
But Okami, tell me, what are some Equinoi names? Well,
got masculine names. I also like, I think it was here that you might give 2 names so that you can like tell people apart. Because I just happened to be watching a video the other day, like a short popped up on YouTube that was like, we only really started developing family names once we started spreading out because nobody had a need for that. Like, you never left your village, so you knew everyone. But now someone could be talking about Dave, and then they'll be like, oh, my cousin Dave? And they'll be like, I don't think so.
That's actually very true. It's like, wait, you know Dave? It's like, yeah. How do you know Dave? Well, how do you know Dave? Though I guess that was also kind of hard to avoid certain things that we would shun nowadays.
True.
It's weird. It's definitely weird.
We got masculine names, we got feminine names, we got family names, then we have banded mystic stuff of the same idea. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. I get real sad when people are like, don't include this stuff, because I want to feel like there are options out there, because that makes me feel like these people live in this world.
I can't understand why you wouldn't want options. I think that's the hardest thing for me to understand. Like, why would you want to give up the ability to play around with more ideas that work?
Yeah. Also, reading the banded mystic tribe names, I also want these to be like the names of druids, but I'm thinking specifically like sages that like live in the woods.
Honestly, one of the shows I watch with my girlfriend is we are fans of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh,
And there was a queen this season named Acacia Forgot. So when I read Acacia Rift, I was like, that's a drag name. That's somebody's drag name, Acacia Rift. That being said, I love that this is fleshed out, and I love that all of the names are just fun to say. Like these are syllables. Like you have your simpler names like Mag, Cole. Then you have Larkin, Wemba. I want to be named Wemba.
Amaranth. I like that. The flower. I don't really care about the streamer.
We don't talk about the streamer.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're coming up with a theme, like getting a whole bunch out that fit to a theme. Yeah, I can see where that would take up a lot of time.
What did you use as your basis, like your base language for the styling of names? Or did you just think of like a theme for how you wanted the names to flow and stick to that?
I think these are the Welsh ones. I was looking at the banded mystic feminine names, and I was like, I think that these could also be Welsh or Gaelic, but then there's this one Chinese one in there.
Got to keep you on your toes.
Can't let
you figure it all out at once.
Which I guess could be beautiful flower, which I guess sort of fits into the rest of this stuff.
Yeah. It's all of these names paint a beautiful image for me.
It's banded mystic tribe named Serpent Caller. I'm just imagining like a huge buff horse guy, and then he's got like a flute that he plays, and there's like snakes pop up behind him.
Meet Wemba Thunder Dance.
Oh, that's sick. What a good name.
I feel like he's a member of T-Hawk's tribe from Street Fighter. Like I feel like Wemba Thunder Dance is absolutely a grappling extraordinaire.
I'm down with that. 100% like it. Love it.
I want to play Wemba Thunder Dance the Equinoi now. If I ever play one, I want to play Wemba Thunder Dance. That's my.
Okay, I went ahead to Equinoi traits, and
go for it.
I see that the ASI is your strength increases by 1, and then I'm happy to see over on the other side that depending on your subspecies, you get extra ones based on there. Because I literally last night in my, I almost said my Twitter digest. Nope, my Reddit digest. Someone came up with a homebrew species, and then what? I love language. It's still, oh, it's so cool. Do you happen to know what it means in Celtic stuff? Because in Chinese, it's beautiful flower. I guess you could also write Li Hua, I guess, is probably more common, but the Li part is just beautiful. Pop that open. Oh, of course it pops up in the wrong window. That's fine by me. Hangs out with Cullen.
My boy Cullen.
Oh, Lee is still beauty. Interesting. I have no idea what the original language tree is. I don't remember the language tree anymore. I should. I minored in linguistics. I don't.
Wait, you want to use your degree? What's wrong with you?
But what I was going to say is I'm happy all the subspecies or subraces have something different because someone put up a homebrew race last night that popped up in my Reddit digest, and someone was like, I don't know if you realize, but all of your subraces give the exact same ASI, so why don't you just give people the choice? Like, if they're all the same, like nothing's different. You could just say 2 and 1 like most people do. Ooh, Snowflame is a cool one too. Especially if you're like an elemental sorcerer or something.
Oh. I like that. I like that imagery. But it seems like you can gain, like as you said, various traits.
Oh, good. You have a kick. I'm glad. So they don't have a specific. Oh, wait. I do not know the DC villain. I only know Fire and Ice, who have a really terrible book out right now. In current DC continuity, something happened and everybody's powers got switched around to different people, and so Fire and Ice switched powers, and they can't use each other's powers even though they're best friends. And I will also say for sure, and they were roommates.
You know what that means?
Oh, he's the dude. I didn't know that was his name. Fist talks about him all the time. I had no idea he had. I did not know that was his name. But Fist sends me pictures of him at random in the middle of the night sometimes.
Wait, what do you mean in the middle of the night at random? Wait a minute. What kind of accidental threat is that?
There's no context. Fist does not provide any context. It's either a video or a picture, occasionally just a sentence about something that happened to him today.
Oh, Fist. I
agree with you.
No. I want to worry.
I think they're great for like, oh, this guy does this really well. I think that's an excellent time to put in what they're going to get. Or, like, yeah, just let people choose. If you're just going to do the same thing for all of them, why not? Let people have some choice in here. Assuming they're running 2014 rules, because 2024 rules is you get all your...
There's no such thing as choice.
Yeah, you get all your ASI from the job your character did before they became an adventurer, which basically has to be related to their adventuring. You can't just have done something else and said, I want to go adventuring. Nah.
That would be too simple.
Can't have that.
That would be giving choices. We don't do that no more. You can tell I'm upset.
Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. We out here hating on 2024. a little. Oh, I guess. I think 75 is what they say. Oh, they mature fast. I think they say humans go to 100. I mean, assuming they're not dead early from adventuring.
Yeah.
You got.
Or trash.
True. You got things to do, man. You got to go out and do them. You got to run. Be free. Let your Fabio main flutter in the breeze.
Alignment and size seem to be pretty standard. Granted that you do vary in size, much like humans and every other race. So you get to kind of freely pick how big you or small you are as an Equinoi. I can imagine though you rarely will. Oh my god! What if there's like a half Equinoi halfling? It's just the size of a halfling, but it's an Equinoi, so it's strong as an Equinoi. It's a mini horse. It's literally a mini horse. I need this to exist, and if not, I'm sorry, Malachite, but it has existed. It now exists in my brain. This halfling Equinoi hybrid, and I
mean,
love it.
they're living together as long as it's possible for them to procreate. I'm pretty sure they can.
And his name is Wemba Thunder. His name is Wemba Thunder. I told you he was coming back. Once I have it in my brain that I want that Wemba Thunder dance, he's coming.
I do have. I don't know if we went over it in. I think it was in the repository before we started doing DM Roundtable. But somebody made a little guide way back when on how to hybridize races, because instead of half, well, everyone assumed when you put half in there you had a human, but that's not necessarily true. But somebody made a homebrew thing a while back for hybridizing races, so we might be able to use that to make Wemba Thunder Dance.
I will happily apply the logic provided to make Wemba Thunder dance.
And for some reason, I want him to hang out with Umbolo.
Umbola!
I can't get past this stupid
only
thing.
a Zip and Zap show up.
Oh my god. Manizales!
I think sometimes we just turn. I think it's what happens when DM McCar's not here. We just turn into unexplainable ramblings and screams.
Everything we've referenced is something we've gone over on DM Roundtable before. I swear, it's not just noises.
And if you've been enjoying DM Roundtable since the beginning, or just popped in, as always, we're thankful for you being here. Thanks for Malachite for giving us this dope thing, and we're getting to this dope information to look at in the Equinoi as a whole, which we get to add to the repository. And we're thankful for all of you. But if you want to help out even more, I believe the disembodied pre-recorded voice of DM Lakari exists somewhere in Okami's graph.
Sure does.
Hit the buttons.
What would it tell us?
Do the thing. If you have money, make the buttons give him money. If you don't have money, just hit the buttons that subscribe, and that also gets him money. So you get to feel good either way.
I miss her so much, but it's like she's here.
It really is. I also love that you and I have trained ourselves to silence ourselves.
Yeah.
In order to allow it to play uninterrupted.
In my defense, I can hear it. You're good at this.
I'm just assuming that your silence means I should be.
Teamwork.
But if you can, there's a Redbubble shop. There's the Patreon. There is the YouTube subscription. Patreon's got a free tier. The YouTube, all you gotta do is like, and share. Show it to your friends. Let everybody know that the Roundtable is here every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Looking into the homebrew, the various homebrews out there, and giving you just an opinion, because that's all we can give you is our opinions. They're not facts, except that WotC 2024 shouldn't be the way it is. But that's our opinion that I think is a very valid one.
Yeah.
Just valid. But that being said, let's add some more. We get some variations, it looks like.
Yeah. Let's check out some Subraces.
In our Equinoi. And we start with the stalwart. The immense and tireless. A single stalwart can perform as much physical labor in a day as a whole team of humans. They gain an additional 1 for a total of 2 strength, and they get a constitution bonus. which I really like. You're focusing that a stalwart Equinoi. This is your fighter. This is the guy who wants to throw hands. This is the guy who is going to be the bulky tank in a 2024 game. But this is also sensible because why wouldn't you have a bonus to your constitution as a stronger than normal horse?
Mm-hmm.
You have your standard walking speed of 30 feet. You count as one size larger for your carrying capacity, which is dope that you're once again hammering in that these guys are stronger than the average Equinoi. Smarter than your average bear, the whole nine. And you also gain Yowman, which is a proficiency with 2 tools of your choosing. I like that. Oh, and you also gain Might, which is just very simply you have advantage on strength checks that require brute force, which is not something you hear referred to very often. But basically, bashing down a door, brute force. Breaking open a chest, brute force. You can do that better, and that just makes sense.
Just kick all the doors open. Bam.
Yeah, like.
Oh, I see you, Malachite. I see you.
But Okami, could you tell?
Take a peek at Hot Bloods. Proud, energetic, and natural runners, the Hot Bloods often make excellent messengers and town constables. Okay, I'll tell you a story about my campaign after we get through this. The being an excellent messenger, very important to the story. I will tell you. Ability score increase. Your dex score increases by 2 because they fast. Speed. Your base walking speed is 40 feet. I don't know if I've ever seen a subrace that changes your walking speed, but I love this.
I don't think they exist as much anymore. Like I think like certain like speedier races were granted. Like I think like the Harrigan at one point was granted a base movement speed increase. At least there was a version of it.
Oh. Interesting. Grimjack, this is your fault. I was like, oh, I'm trying to think of the elves, and in my head, I was like, what elf facts do I know about 2014 elves? And immediately, drow or Jamaican. No, they're not. Grimjack, this is your fault.
It is entirely his fault.
They are not. But Hot Bloods are also...
By the way, there's nothing constituting Jamaican drow.
Underdark is not the same as the islands, okay? Okay. Australian makes more sense. They're from down under. That makes more sense than Jamaicans, okay? But they're bold as brass, these Hot Bloods. They have advantage on saves against being frightened, as well as on persuasion and deception checks to inspire confidence. I have never seen anyone write this, but it makes so much sense because I have had multiple conversations with people where when I say I am a manipulative person because I will get you to feel good about yourself, and they're like, no, manipulation is bad. And I'm like, no, it literally just means like I'm pulling the right strings.
You sugarcoat things in a way that people really believe.
Sometimes you gotta trick someone into making them feel better. It's better for everybody.
It's true.
And then there's Take a Breather, which is kind of like the... I almost said the focus point thing. The monk's key points ability to heal yourself a little bit. But this
A
is
cool ability to add. Again, probably one of the cooler abilities they've added, but a bit too late in my opinion.
oh, Interesting that you don't roll for it. It's just hit points up to your level, but you can like stop and be like, I don't need all of them back right now. I'll get them back later. You can only do it once up to your level, but sometimes maybe you just want to give yourself like 5 HP to top yourself off, but not want to waste your whole go on it. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're trading it with where like you can give it to other people like lay on hands. This is just for you. You're not stepping on the paladin's toes. You're just giving yourself a breather.
Yeah.
Ooh. Your horse monk has to hang out with my elephunk. But the reason I giggled about messengers is because in my campaign, I ran a shield meet celebration, and this girl from a neighboring town came over, and like she'd heard about my adventuring party because they were like level 5, 6 at the time. They'd done something that in their like area would make them sort of famous, what have you. And she was like, I want to work for you. I will be your messenger. I may not be like the fastest person, but I'm good at like slipping in and out and what have you. And my players, like, they didn't hear anything after that. They were like, oh, you want to work for us? Here, we're going to sign a contract. We're going to pay your year's salary, blah, blah, blah. Because that's how my players are. They are throwing the economy into shambles. Their year's salary is not like a normal thing, really, for the Forgotten Realms. So my players are like, oh, we're gonna pay you so well. We're gonna pay you like better wages than you could ever find elsewhere, yada yada. And the first time they sent her to deliver a message, she came back normal walking speed, and they were like, yo, did we vet her? Doesn't she have like special powers or something? I was like, no, she's a girl. It's just a girl who said, I want to work for you. You didn't interview her. You just said, here's your money. All right, you work for us now.
They have such an odd way of collecting things.
Mm-hmm.
It's very power of friendship.
Yeah.
It makes me want to kill them all.
Dun dun dun.
What? My DM.
You're not the only one. There are many people who want to kill my party. Most of them aren't even in the game.
I'm just saying, let me have a session with them. Somebody will come back alive.
It won't be Grimjack.
No, it might be.
You're gonna leave him in the doorway? That's Faerun's ass. Our paladin is constantly in the doorway and is mad that everyone's hitting him because no one can get past him. So he goes down all the time. And my players one time, he got so mad that this is like the third time he got dropped in the same combat because he had not moved out of the doorway yet. And he was like, I am face down, ass up every combat. And one of the other players goes, dude, but that's Faerun's ass. Look at that thing.
Faerun's ass. That is glorious. I will now only refer to Grimjack as Faerun's ass.
Oh my god, I'm gonna do it to him. I gotta do it to him in public more often. See how many people get it.
Please do. Please call him Faerun's ass in public.
Gonna yell it when we get separated in Comic-Con. Faerun's ass!
It's like when Thor yells out by Odin's beard. By Faerun's ass! I can't say it with the deep joy that I want because I keep chuckling.
That's fantastic. But there's two more. We've got the herd runner. They're more common in highlands and rougher frontiers. Herd runners frequently make their living raising livestock for wool or sometimes providing oxen for farmers and caravans. Okay, interestingly enough, when you didn't give them a specific language, I was thinking some of them, like maybe they would have the ability to communicate with other animals, but no, it doesn't seem like it.
But I think that makes sense because they're animal-esque, but not animals.
They've evolved too far, left that behind.
Yeah. Like, they're no longer... Like, in the same way you wouldn't give a tabaxi the ability to speak to a house cat, even though house cats exist technically in D&D. But there's no, like, innate, I can communicate with that house cat.
I'm gonna assume that was a typo, but it's so
no.
good. It's almost as good as male leeches explode. Ayo, this leech got a dick. Leech, ASL.
Hey, yo, that leech. Excuse me, DM. What gender is that leech? I need to know if this fireball is gonna make it explode or not. I'm sorry, son. What are you asking me? Does that leech got a dick? I need to know before I throw this fireball.
Oh, that's great. Oh, it's so good.
How many of these leeches are male? You were telling us more about the herd runner.
Oh, the herd runners get an ASI, wisdom by 2, base walking speed 30 feet, regular speed. Beast tracker, though, you might not be able to communicate with them, but whenever you make a wisdom survival check to track a beast, consider proficient with the survival skill and add double your proficiency bonus to the check instead of your normal proficiency bonus, which is super cool. Like, and they have proficiency in animal handling. I would expect at least some of them to have it. That does, in fact, make sense. And they're sure-footed. You move across non-magical rough terrain without expending extra movement. Super, super clutch. And a lot of people just are like, whatever. But super clutch to not lose half your speed when you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
Would you like to take the Banded Mystic?
I figured you took the herd runner because you knew I wanted the Banded Mystic. Because I read the herd runner and then I read the Banded Mystic and I was like, ooh. So the Banded Mystic, and if you've been watching the Roundtable, you'll understand why this is right up my alley instantly. The Banded Mystics rarely follow the settled agrarian lifestyle typical of most other Equinoi, preferring instead to live in nomadic groups that move with the rhythms of untamed nature. Their black on white stripe markings confuse the eyes when they move quickly, disorienting monsters and other potential dangers they might prey upon them.
That's
you
super
gain
cool.
also a wisdom score increase of 2, which I like. But in this case, you remain still at your base walking speed of 30 feet, and you gain dazzling camouflage. Your stripes can confuse the eye when you move suddenly and swiftly, and during your turn, you can utilize this as a bonus action to disengage. What a cool idea that you're literally so... Like, your markings are so disorienting that you can actually just break a target's lock on you.
I can also attest, though it was not a real zebra, I saw Madagascar with my little cousins, the very first one in IMAX, and when that zebra was moving across the screen, it made me sick every time.
Chris Rock got you sick.
He did. I ain't even slap him for it.
Oh, keep people's wives' names out your mouth. Don't need that smoke here on the round table. But you also gain Savannah Shaman. Yes.
I love it. Name alone. 100% amazing. Good job.
First off, you said shaman, so automatically I'm just... I have sat up. I was slouched in a chair. I have sat up. You know the Druid craft cantrip at start. When you reach the 3rd level, you can cast the Long Strider spell once. What a perfect spell for a horse race to cast as a druid craft, but Longstrider. What do horses do? And you're nomadic on top of it. What do? You travel. You go long distances. You will use Longstrider once a day. And when you reach the 5th level, you can also cast the Alter Self spell once. You regain the ability to recast these spells once you finish a long rest, with Wisdom as your spellcrafting modifier. I would combine this class with a good druid, probably homebrew, that took away all of the weird wild shaping and added a bunch more nature stuff.
I will also say that I have the perfect spell for this guy. I think it is in the repository. It should be. If it is not, that is sad. There it is. This is the spell for you. Faravir's Blazing Trail. Yeah. Shumph, turn into but in this case, you wouldn't have to turn into the mode of fire. You just run through people. And you make like a trail of fire behind you.
Like a blazing saddle?
Yep. And then you include a random height and weight. Yes. And they're different depending on your subraces, subspecies, whatever you want to call them. That's why the title of the races and subraces episodes are getting longer and longer as I add in more of the words they now use, so as to make sure that everyone knows what I'm talking about.
As the descriptors expand, so does the titles.
And you gave us a new feat.
Yes, Stomp and Trample. When there isn't a path, you make one.
Love it.
When you take the dash or disengage action, you can use a bonus action to make an unarmed strike.
Oh.
When you make this unarmed strike, till the end of your turn, you may move through that creature's space, and your movement does not provoke attacks of opportunity. You may then end movement in the space of a creature that is your size or smaller. If you do, that creature must make a dexterity saving throw equal to 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength mod. They succeed, they move 5 feet to an unoccupied space. If they fail, you push it 5 feet in a direction of your choice and they're knocked prone. Oh, because you're literally just like, get out, and you're just horse kicking them. If you push it into an unoccupied space or there is no unoccupied space within 5 feet, that creature is moved to the nearest unoccupied space. I love that.
Oh. Malachite said you don't have to actually connect with it. Oh. I was actually thinking of, at first I was like, you didn't specifically write that this was for them. And then I was like, I think when I add this to the repository, I'll put as long as you have some natural weapon as a prereq. You know what? I would accept that. Free action, poop.
That's absolutely a free action.
I want to put that in the quotes of my campaign channel. Free action, poop.
Poop. What's my free action? Dump. Oh.
I'm for sure adding. I don't see anything like too overpowered or like ill-conceived here, Malachite. You knocked it out of the park with this guy.
Yeah, I have to say that I love the fact that you've given not only a race to work with, and obviously the differentiations within the race to kind of give it more structure, but you've given a culture without giving me a giant, 4-page backstory in literally 3-4 paragraphs alongside your actual statistics and characteristics for this race. You've given culture, history, an idea for a DM of how they can construct a story behind it, why players might run into it if they want to introduce the race in your campaign. Just all sorts of ideas kind of flood my mind, even down to me wanting to run my new favorite character, my boy Wimba Thunderdance, which I will run that. I will run that. Oh, you don't have to hit with the unarmed strike to do the push. Oh, that's sick. Oh, that's so sick. The unarmed strike is just the bump. Yes. Yes.
I'm definitely throwing all this stuff in the repository.
Oh, it's in there. If you didn't put it in there, I was going to put it in myself.
The repository is one of the many things you get access to for becoming a member of the pack or higher tiers.
Remember.
Bum bum bum. It's all the stuff that I would accept in a campaign as long as it makes sense. Because there are, in fact, plenty of things in there that don't necessarily fit into the Forgotten Realms, but the Equinoi make sense in the Forgotten Realms if you leave them in the plains to the south where the Loxo also dwell, which are like the original version of Loxodon. They're the large creatures. Well, technically I think Loxodon actually came first, and then story-wise their Spelljammer crashed into the plains on Faerun, and because there were no other civilizations around, they sort of devolved back into Loxo. I don't know. It's silly.
Listen, can argue a lot.
Is that DM Lakara? Oh my god.
I was going to say.
Hey guys.
I was trying to come to some...
late.
No.
No.
Happy you made it.
Ooh.
Me too. What have I missed?
We just went through Equinoi.
Oh, you're already done?
Well, now we have Equinoi of Myth and Legend, and then after that, we're going to look at some more Hoof World members with the Cervidaens. And Malachite's in the chat, so if you have any questions you want to ask, Malachite will answer them.
Oh, wow, we've actually got a content creator in here?
Yeah!
Yeah, the actual creator of the content is giving us live info about their content.
We are moving on up. Okay.
This is a first. Very, very cool. Hello, Malachite.
We become popular.
I wanted to say the photo of your mouse pad was passed along to me through the ether over the weekend, and it made me very happy.
I told you, if you pass us information, it will get to DM Lakara.
They have ways.
Bifrost.
It doesn't take that much blood from them, I promise. I've cut back in recent years.
There's enough tariffs to be dealt with.
Yeah, for real. Don't get me started.
Don't get either of us started, actually.
True, you're both having way more problems than I am. Mine is just, Kickstarter. Kickstarter. That is the exact same voice I used for the perception roll. I was watching an actual play, and someone was like, "Oh, I have a +9 to perception, and I only rolled a 14," and that's basically my character in DM Lakara's campaign.
Yikes!
I don't even make him roll perception anymore. It's just like, oh, okay, you see this.
It's like to avoid him saying it. You see it. You have gazed upon the abyss. The abyss looked back. You've witnessed it all. You got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
The best part is that his character returned older and like obviously changed from one of their little jaunts, extra planar jaunts recently. And all of a sudden he went from being this completely, utterly antisocial, would look at the ground while talking to somebody if he absolutely had to talk to them person, to
Oh
being
my
like,
God.
oh, do you need me to fill out that paperwork for you? And like nobody's reacted to it.
They only react when you say, "Isn't it weird that he's doing paperwork?" or something like that. It's
And I
like they're
feel like it's a
scared.
failure as a DM, like that I'm not making this obvious enough somehow. I shouldn't have to be like hand holding like this. But I think everyone in the party is just too polite to say anything about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I definitely think
it's
that's part of
actually
it.
become like a slight issue now because you're like, I need you to say something.
Yeah, we specifically made my character better in social situations because the rest of the party is not good in social situations either.
It's literally Scott's character and my husband's character are the only two that talk to people.
Everyone else just like, oh, we could talk, but that's not our function here.
Half the party has like speak with animals, which I didn't even know when we started. So basically, if there's not an animal interpreter, if there's not an animal interpreter, there's just no conversation.
It's like, who wants to talk to? Hey, who wants to cast speak with animals? Which of the three of you that can cast it?
Literally.
None of you. Okay.
Oh no, if it's an animal, it's fine. If it's an animal, it's fine. It's just if it's other beings.
Ah.
Okay, so then the question now becomes, if you add Equinoi to the campaign, will they talk to horse people?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Only if I don't tell them that they're like a sentient species first.
Ah, true. Once they know they can speak, yeah, they're not going to talk. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the trick? You gotta hide it like masking where the P's are.
Yeah, it's like hiding the pill and the lump of bread.
Yeah. It's like, don't tell them it's in there. Like if they
No,
find
I love my players. They just they make me question myself sometimes.
I think that's the sign of good players for a DM though, where it's just like you sit there and you go to yourself, why did they do what they do?
I think my favorite part is when lore changes because somebody misremembers something.
Oh, yeah. Goblin Slayer, Jack DT or Stefan, if you're in the YouTube chat, he doesn't know the difference between east and west. So he said he came from far off in the east. And I was like, no, that's not how maps work. And he was like, oh shit, I thought that was the left side. And we were like, nah, bro. That's not how the map works. And because of that one mistake, I got to change his whole backstory and fit his character in with another character who was also from the east.
That's hilarious.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's not how I remember that. Okay, sure. Though I did also, in my campaign, I implemented a rule about 2.5 years into the same campaign that I've been running now, where you can't, if you've said something about your backstory, that's your backstory now. You can't change it now, okay? So you're either gonna, one of us will remember what you said.
That seems like a very veiled threat.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how I read it.
Yes.
Like that seemed oddly targeted for a specific player in your campaign that did a specific thing.
I guess it was. I probably said it to Grimjack, but it wasn't just him who'd done it. But I'm pretty sure I said it directly to him, but it wasn't actually just him who had done it. And then our Goliath, the barbarian in our campaign, he's never seen Critical Role. He's never watched an actual play in his life. He'd never seen the cartoon because the cartoon had already come out, and they prompted him one time to give us his backstory, and he gave us basically word for word Grog's backstory from Critical Role. And me and DM Bacon and one other player at the table, the three of us looked at each other like, huh, is he doing that on purpose? And then we turned to him, and I was like, hey, Laundry King, have you ever seen Critical Role? And he was like, no, what is that? And we were like, huh, okay, you have Grog's backstory now. And he was like, that's not my name. And I was like, okay.
It is now.
Yeah.
Like, you are now, you are who we say you are, and you are Grog. Sorry.
Well, they claim that that's what happened on the first. Was it the first? No, one of the seasons of the Adventure Zone was that the dad created a character that was essentially identical to Grunkle Stan from Gravity Falls without knowing it, and then watched it with like one of the brother's kids like months later and was like, oh crap.
It happens.
I mean, there are only so many archetypes.
It's true. Ooh,
like, you're gonna run into a common theme eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll happen. All right. I have not actually written down any of the timestamps, so when I go to edit this VOD, it's going to be fun. But I'm going to start putting down timestamps now, because we're going to move on to Equinoi of Myth and Legend. Oh, it's got more Shakespeare words. This is all you, DM Lakara. I'm going to switch the music up. Oh, no, wait, nope, stop that. There you go. Okay, cool. And for those of you on YouTube, you can drop the description down, follow along with us. For those of you on Twitch, I'm going to throw a link in here. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Malachite has this one, but either way, we're going to move on to Equinoi of Myth and Legend. Would you like to start us off, DM Lakara?
What do you want, the quote at the top?
Yeah.
The fellow. Good name in man and woman, dear my lord, is the immediate jewel of their souls. Who steals my purse steals trash. 'Tis something, nothing. 'Twas mine, 'tis his, and has been slave to thousands. But he that filches from me my good name robs me of that which not enriches him, and makes me poor indeed. Cool. What do we got?
We have some new Equinoi Subraces. I believe that Ehwaz is your specialty is here somewhere.
Oh, these are cool.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't actually read the original post. I read part of this one, so I thought all of them had 4 arms, and I was just in my head before we started the last one, I was just imagining 4-armed Goro, but with like a horse head all the time. And in my head, the only like horse head.
Why are you picturing 4 arms?
One of these has 4 arms.
With. No, but like, why were you assuming that?
Because I only read this part. I didn't read the original post.
Oh.
So I read this, and the only horse head that I like can call up at will is Buckets the drummer. So I was just imagining all of the Equinoi coming out and being like, and watching their fake horse head wiggle. That's how I started this.
That is petrifying, and I love it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I was kicked picturing like just anthropomorphic horses? Are these not horses that stand on two legs?
Oh, they
They
are.
are.
Okay.
No, you were in the right zone. Okami just
Went off the rails.
There's
Okami.
no
Okami.
gifts of Buckets the
Okami.
drummer. This is awful.
Yeah, I have no clue what you're talking about. That's okay. We all know my utter lack of pop culture references.
This one escapes me a little bit too, so you're okay.
Once you see him DM Shin, you're gonna be like, oh, I had no idea his name was Buckets, but it's because he plays.
I don't
His drums are buckets in his tub.
Well, you know who's not buckets? The Sovereign of Knowledge.
It's true.
One of the new Equinoi subspecies, subraces that we get here. And Sovereigns of Knowledge have two immediately obvious differences from typical Equinoi. So we did get to see some of the other stats, ASI improvements that were gained from each of the subraces, which were always generally 2 points, which I kind of liked. In this case, the blue-armed guys get +1 intelligence and wisdom. They don't have a faster walking speed. I guess that's only that one.
Yeah, just that one. That he do be running though.
He definitely runs. Is this
Ooh.
why you thought they have 4 arms
Yep.
like Goro?
This is the only one that I had read previously. So I was like, oh, they all
Okay.
have 4 arms. Interesting. Everybody's Goro with a horse
It's
head.
it's like a Hindu horse.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Like blue, 4 arms. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, I'm guessing that's the
No,
Malachite
I am okay
Correct.
with I'm okay with the imagery of a vengeful war horse god. That is not an image lost on me.
I mean, if I remember correctly, the light blue one was actually one of the nicer ones, but I could be wrong.
I think Shiva's
Nice.
Oh
No, Vishnu.
Oh, Vishnu. Yeah.
I'm gonna have so many fun
But-
wikis to go through later. Thank you.
My
yeah, the God of
Indian
Wisdom is
mythology
a horse.
a little rusty.
Oh, Sleipnir.
Sleipnir. Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
I'm highlighting a very specific portion because I'm pretty sure that Grimjack is still lurking, and I just want him to read this over and over and over again.
The Sovereign of Knowledge or the Champion of Virtue?
Oh, the Sovereign of Knowledge. Note that a character can only benefit from 1 shield at a time, no matter how many are held. As I stare at the chat.
It's a built-in rule, Grim. I'm sorry. There's just no getting around it. That's just how the rule works.
There's a feat, but it's only going to be 2. And usually it's because you're using like 2 tower shields, and you can't do anything but slam into people.
Yeah, that's the extent of the ability.
Oh, but it has well read. He would also love that because he is an Oath of Librarians paladin. That boy loves looking stuff up.
Does he have a special ability to call upon the Dewey Decimal System?
Kind of.
Oh my god, that should be a spell like Dewey's knowledge tidbit or something.
Oh my god, yes.
It's like,
yes.
You don't know the information that you're looking for, but you know exactly where to go to find it.
You've always just magically known where to look. You can't explain why.
Every library you go into, every scroll room, you're like, no, it's on the shelf. That should be like a bardic
love
class
that.
feature.
His one of his channel divinity One of his channel divinity abilities is that he can access anything that is in a book or a scroll or a tome that is in his home library. So basically, yeah, he's got the internet, but it only goes to his local library.
I was gonna say, do you know how much money I would pay to be able
That
to
is-
instantly look up things from my own books in my own house?
That would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I would stockpile more encyclopedias.
Ooh.
As I stare at stacks of books.
Like, I have a bunch of medical and, like, coding books. Do you know how great it would be to just not have to think?
Oh.
And just be like, oh, yeah, let me just call up on this,
Oh.
up on page 17 of my book,
Oh.
sitting up on my shelf.
Oh wait, I have an emote for this. What am I doing? Boink. That's better. I'll use my own emotes.
I used one of your emotes for the first time.
Yeah. Moving on up. Moving on up. Oh, you can speak, read, and write Celestial in place of Halfling. That's really cool. Unless you're playing 2024 rules, in which you're only allowed, like, I think it's Halfling, Common, Dwarven, and Elvish. Everything else is exotic, and you're not allowed to have it unless your DM says otherwise.
Is halfling like your closest to exotic in standard?
I don't think
Like
so.
why halfling? I would expect horse people to be pretty tall.
Oh, in this case, it's because they usually live together. That's part of their lore.
Ah,
Stupid
cool.
bot.
You got spam. Yeah.
Bye. I like this, like, not tower defense. What is the Atari game? I think it is called Laser Defense. This laser defense type game that we're all playing on Twitch right now when the bots come in, and somebody's got to be there with the mod view to be like, boom, and delete them all.
Oh, like a mean game of Space Invader?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like how we all thought the internet was going to be.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And some people do still think.
Sometimes.
I like how that was the full sentence.
Yeah. But what does a champion of virtue do? I feel like we have to let DM Lacar read some stuff. We read so much stuff. It's your turn.
Okay.
I love
With
the way
their-
you segued that. Kudos.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm catching up. With their gleaming obsidian black, pure white, opalescent, or iridescent coloration, and the single straight or upwardly curving horn that grows from their forehead, comparisons to unicorns are inevitable. Combined with their innate magic and ties to nature, there is considerable debate, even among the champions of virtue themselves, whether they are directly related to the creatures. They're charismatic, no surprise. You get a cantrip for your horn. Does that let you cast any cantrip, or does it have to be a touch one that you use the horn for?
No, one cantrip from the wizard, cleric, or druid spell list.
But I'm for
No,
sure
no,
making
no.
your horn glow. Like it does something when you cast your cantrip, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I'm making my horn know Toll the Dead.
Okay,
So
so yours is going to be black, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah. So if you have seen the new Paul Rudd Jenna Ortega movie,
Yes.
Nope.
I haven't yet, but I've seen the trailer. I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
Don't even know the words that made up that sentence.
it is a new movie from A24, a movie studio that that has come to make some great, interesting movies that very much represent the 80s classic horror movies that I grew up on. So like I'm a really big fan of them.
Mhm.
And this movie that they came out with recently involves it's not a spoiler, it's in the trailer. It involves a certain mythical creature, like as such. And I just feel like they would absolutely have Toll the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
There's also something to Toll the Dead for me that I just love.
That
You
it
do
gets
bring it up a
stronger
lot.
when someone's about to die.
Yeah. There's just it's like, oh hey, I know you're hurting. What if it hurt more? Like, what if that hurt you were feeling wasn't enough? Here, let me ring this magical gong in your head and cause you crippling damage that you can't avoid.
Just remind you how close you are to dying.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear it? Can you hear it as you cross over?
Edgar Allan Poe was not saying the bells for any other reason but to cast Toll the Dead on everything in his room. That is lore now.
Oh.
Before he became a warlock, before he worked for the Raven Queen,
Yep.
he
Yep.
was
Yep.
a cleric of the dead.
Yeah. I love me the Raven Queen.
We're gonna have a lot of chats about antlers when we get to the Cervidaens, so you might get some new tricks, Ehwaz.
Oh god.
Maybe Runa could pick up a few too.
Oh, that's true. When I looked at it first, I looked at the picture and I was like, huh, I wonder if this is what I'm gonna make Runa look like.
It's better than that, like, gorilla armed horror that was the art. The original Weirdeer. Alright, Grove's Blessing. We gotta keep this moving. You can cast Heroism without using a spell slot once. You regain the ability when you finish a long rest. At 3rd level, you can also cast Speak with Animals without using a spell slot once.
Ah, yes.
You also regain the ability to cast it in this way when you finish a long rest. Charisma is your spellcasting ability, and same as the other one, you can swap Celestial for Halfling. Well, you can swap Halfling for Celestial. There we go.
Again, kind of cool. You're a holy horse.
Yeah.
Yes. Some might even say you'd be a friend of Whole Horse.
I had a feeling you might make the joke. And I knew that it would, if it happened, I just had to let it happen.
Yep.
Damn it.
It's just who he is. Who he is as a person. It could be very Disney princess. This is he. So now there's 2 Equinoi Subraces that give you these spell bonuses. Cool. Oh. Who wants to take Master of Winds? These names, also Malachite, sick.
Oh, yeah. Great naming.
Yeah. No, these are amazing. I'll take the Master of... My voice doesn't crack. I'll take the Master of Winds. Lighter weight than even the Hot Bloods, but twice as proud. The Masters of Winds are able to fly using their massive bird-like wings, Pegasi. Their coloration tends towards whites and grays, colors that can be seen among the clouds, but any natural equine coloration is not uncommon either.
Oh, hell yeah, like a dapple gray. Oh, that would be so
Yes.
pretty.
Or even like a brown and white, like just very, very like Wild Stallion-esque. I think it's beautiful. That being said, dexterity and charisma are your ASIs here. And I think that makes sense. I like the fact that charisma is just getting the love here. It's like, oh, you're mythical, so you're more likely to speak to people. It's like people are more likely to want to talk to you because you're magical or special.
Oh my god, this is so pretty. Can I take a picture? I don't know why I turned into a tourist, but yes.
I don't know.
What are you doing?
There.
Ooh.
But you gain you keep a 30-foot walk speed, but you also gain a 30-foot flight speed, which is different. Yeah, you do have wings though, and you don't need a Red Bull to use it.
Interesting though,
And
you
if
have to keep light armor on.
It makes sense though.
Because yeah,
Like even though
you'd be too heavy.
you're using a lot of strength already to propel yourself at 30 feet. 30 feet of movement in a turn. Remember, a turn is 6 seconds. A round is 6 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 30 feet in 6 seconds, and you're about 160. You're about 100 pounds. That's a lot of movement with heavy armor, which is heavy armor is more than you. If you think about a full plate mail armor set is probably a good 40, 50 pounds, if not more. No more, right? I think there's like official weights for that stuff. I just don't know.
Yeah, there definitely are.
There definitely are. I'm thinking if you really want to flavor it as you're this big strong horse person, that your bones are not hollow. You're just so strong that like even your wings, like in between the feathers, there's like you can see rippling muscle, and you're just like, "Grrr!" and you like flex at the floor to propel yourself upwards.
But I'm also kind of imagining. So this is going to be a weird game to reference, but it was this game that I loved on the Game Boy Advance, and it's a series I love called Tactics Ogre.
Ooh,
They have a
series.
class of people called Hawkmen. I'm imagining that very similar to Aarakocra and other flying creatures, them having dexterity means they want to fly up somewhere and rain arrows down on you.
Yep.
But now imagine they want to rain arrows and like bardic songs at you from the sky.
Ooh. I was thinking of I was gonna say they might shoot down at you with like foot bows, but these guys have hooves, so that probably would be incredibly difficult. But maybe you could give them like a flying foot crossbow, like the foot bows being the Raptoran's specialty. They're also a winged people.
Could work.
Yeah, I feel like when you're this muscly, you probably don't have hollow bones.
No.
So you gotta do just flex. Oh my! Imagine this dude flexing his wings like in the same orientations that he's flexing his arms when he's showing off how strong he is.
Ooh.
I like this. And then we have names. These do not look like they're based on Celtic or Welsh. It's cool. You went again into a different place, and it's nice. Also, again, just like throwing in little pieces of lore that are great. Like the actual name of a sovereign of knowledge is a secret, but they have an epithet that they use. Oh, I love epithets. Also, DM Lacar, we've come up with a new thing that we all need to use in our campaigns. Free action poop.
Free action poop.
Is this to get rid of the problem that nobody's PCs have ever gone to the bathroom?
Could also do that too.
Right. Especially because horses literally just poop freely.
Oh, yeah. They don't even have to stop what they're doing. It's wild.
So it's got to be a free action poop. I feel like there's no way you're playing a horse without free action poop.
Your Equinoi wears like a loincloth and you just walk through town and they just move. You're like, what? Somebody's like, do you smell that? And they're like, I had to go. Everyone's like, what's wrong with you? And they're like, I'm a horse.
That's gotta be the only answer too. I'm a Bro, I'm part horse.
It's gonna be like a barbarian too, like it's their first time working in a team.
I'm imagining I would like to rage, and every time they flex to rage, especially if they have like that aggressive trait that you get at like level 5 where you can dash up to someone. They're like shooting shit out behind them as they dash up to their enemies.
I would lose it.
That would be funny like once.
I think an entire campaign of that would hurt my soul at a certain point.
I feel like the naming for the Sovereign of Knowledge names is like Fairy Time Lord.
Ooh. I like that.
And I'm totally there for it.
Oh, interesting.
See that? I could
Put in
definitely see
androgynous
that.
here.
Actually.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that. It is definitely a necessary thing because quite often, if you think about it, in fantasy games, we don't necessarily know how you want to play your character. Sometimes you want that your character to be androgynous. I think that the fact that you even have the idea of like what their names would be is really cool.
Yeah.
It's inclusive. I like that stuff. And once again, we get the dope random height and weight chart to kind of base things on, which I love.
Thank you.
I love that because the more authentic I feel like you can be to the idea of a character or a race or a species that someone's created, the better I feel. Personally, at least.
My brain just zoomed right into Roxanne. Oh, Hippolyta and Galatea.
Yeah, definitely there for all of the Greek mythology-based names.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The Greek mythology names are the ones that sell. Halcyon.
Although right before Okami said that, I was actually going to comment that we skipped past it, but the fact that there's Bartholomet, I love it.
Oh. Oh, that's cool. Can you imagine how confused my party would get if we used Caitlyn but spelled this way? Oh my god. My party thinks every white woman, all of my players, this is not in game, this is in real life. They think every white woman is named Caitlyn. Actually, it's Katie. Every white woman is Katie. And before that, it was every white woman was Kim. But we only knew one Kim. We at least know more than one Kate.
Yeah.
Also
I was gonna say,
like
there's a collection of them.
Yeah, there are a lot of Katies, like that tracks. But like they're both popular names, but it's not like it's like Sarah or Lisa or like one of the like really top, Jessica, like one of those names that it's like everybody knows 5 of.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I love me some Garo. That's my jam. Also, I love that the first syllable, like the ga part of Garo, when you use it with Garo, you're using Ro as the second reading of Wolf. Normally it's Okami, like I use for my channel, but the first part, the ga, when you use it with Wolf, it means hungry wolf specifically. But if you put that ga in front of like one of the words for kids, it's like a brat. And I just think it's so silly that same character means two wildly different things.
That's actually kind of cool. know that.
How many times have you seen a small hangry child? I think that totally tracks.
Also, entirely accurate.
I see no problem here.
There's another. It's not old. It's Tabaxi, and I think also Verdun change their names quite frequently. But like, Tabaxi names are fun because it's like just something that they do. So like, you might meet a cat person named Nap, and their full name is actually Afternoon Nap because that's what they enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Verdun
They
are
also
just
have,
like,
like,
I'm
all the
hanging
other
out with
names.
these people. I want my name to sound like theirs.
Well, it's kind of like in the Elder Scrolls series, the Argonians and the like all the Argonians are named after what they do the best.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's little things like that that really crack me up.
Well, I mean, Okami has jokingly called me by my name with a Japanese accent for what, 10, 12 years?
Yeah.
Like, routinely.
I frequently yell food at DM Shin instead of his name.
True. It's true. I have been every combination of food that he could think of that he could combine into my name.
I knew the joke name that they called you by for so long before I actually, like, quote unquote, met you online that I have to call you Shin because I cannot bring myself to call you by your actual name. It sounds too weird to me.
That is entirely fair.
Yep. That's
I've
just how it
gotten
works out
used to it.
sometimes.
I've gotten used to it, trust me. You grow accustomed to it after a while. It always confuses people who know me by one name and not the other to hear the other name. Because they're like, wait, who is this person? And I'm like, oh, that's also me. And they're like, what do you mean that's also you?
So what we know is DM Shin is a tabaxi.
I might be.
Mm.
Actually, that might
You are a
actually
cat
track.
guy.
I am. I actually might be a tabaxi secretly. I came across the plains at one point.
I'm gonna throw these Equinoi of Myth and Legend into the repository as well. I don't see anything wrong with them. I think that they are great.
Yeah, no, they're dope.
I don't mean anything wrong with them in like a mean way. I just mean like there's nothing that's like woefully out of balance that I would have to fight my players over as they try to find a loophole through.
Yeah. No, I may definitely add these into my world because I love all the exotic races, and I like begged my party to consider the exotic races when they were building their characters, and our party is like 2/3 humans.
I had a conversation about, we were talking about that earlier. I was like, I think I always play a human. I don't know why.
It's a lot of people's comfort races. Like, you know how a human works.
Yeah, I guess that could be part of it.
Oh. Like, you don't have to think about a human.
I've never been a human.
I rarely. I was telling DM Okami, the only time I'm human is in like older editions where human is kind of like recommended. It's like, hey, we know you want to be like a half elf, but we really think somebody should be a human. If you play AD&D or like BECME or a Rule Cyclopedia or any of those versions of it, literally the best class you can be, the best party is a team of human fighters with maybe one cleric and one mage and one thief. Like the balanced party of one mage, one fighter, one cleric, one thief is very, very prevalent when you play those older editions. Like there's a reason why you want one of each. because magical sleep is broken. Turn undead levels undead playing fields.
Yeah.
Because turn undead affects all undead at certain points of a certain level.
Especially when you're
And
running into like
it-
1d100 skeletons.
Yeah, but the 1d100 skeletons for a level like 6 cleric is a turn. Is a literal turn. Their first turn, they get to wipe out every one of those skeletons instantly without having to roll.
Nowadays, you don't really have that kind of issue. No one's giving you 1d100 skeletons.
I might.
No. Well, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you're also creating your own RPG where the point, at least some of the time, is to run away.
Yes.
True.
Oh,
True.
You are.
we spoke about that, by the way. We mentioned that we will be running a live version of it
I'm so excited
2
for
weeks
this.
from now.
I'm so excited for this.
And that DM Lakara and DM Okami are 2 of the players, and that we are looking for more. We're looking for at least 2 to 4 more players. I think 6 is kind of just where my ability to manage that many people taps out.
Fair.
I'm just
As
gonna
I
be
cry
honest
into
with
my
myself. But if we have more, honestly, I'm not gonna say no. Okami's gonna put up the like invite sheet in the Discord as well as the Patreon and the YouTube for people to see, so that if anybody wants to, they can just message me or DM Okami. Just let them know that you want to play, and I will get you in on the Rule 0 to be determined for when I determine when we're going to do that Rule 0 conversation, which would probably be like a half hour, maybe 45 minutes one night beforehand that everybody can agree is free. Even if I have to do it in multiple parts, I don't mind. But like, just so I can get everybody a good idea of where they want to be, maybe, and like just set everything up and answer any early questions so that, you know, people know what they want to do and we can have a full session. So I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah.
And it will be all of the characters, but I have already selected the scenario that is going to be played. So it is going to be a fun one. It is actually the first written scenario, not fully written, but a fleshed out scenario that I have for the game as like a starting quest for people. Think of it as like my dragon, my water deep, my dragon heist.
Ooh. Okay.
I am
So you
very
guys
excited for this.
Yes, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. A lot of dice and a lot of Excel spreadsheets.
For us or for you?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of
Both?
column B.
I mean, I love me some Excel. I'm not complaining. I just want to know, when I have to start my finger stretches.
Yeah, when like trap disarming was one of the skills.
Oh yeah. I'll put it this way: expect to roll a lot of dice.
I love it.
That is the best piece of advice I can provide someone going into this.
All right.
Expect dice, but I think I like the Equinoi.
Me too. I know it's like past our usual time, but I'm okay for taking a look at the Cervidaens if y'all are.
I don't mind taking a peek at it. It's not too bad.
I might dip back out, guys.
Thanks for dropping by.
Hell yeah.
It was good to see everybody.
Yeah.
And as always, we will be here as per usual Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to present more of the roundtable to you.
It's true.
The 3 of us, and sometimes more.
Sometimes.
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 But tune in next week. We'll be back with the poll.
There will be a
end.
poll at the end of the Cervidaens for whoever wants to help us choose the topic for next week. Enjoy your dinner.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna take a look now.
Malachite, thank you again.
Thank you
Malachite,
so much for coming. Yes, for real.
Yeah,
That was
and
so cool.
for providing us like with this super dope race. I have to say, I am definitely going to be taking a peek at more of your work that you have up on your site.
Yeah, there's tons.
And please, folks, if you're watching the VOD or you've been tagging along, go check out Malachite's work. It's a lot of dope stuff. The website is up here where we're looking at the Equinoi, but there are a bunch of others that you can check out.
Dude, you're killing
that
it.
you should.
And hit the buttons.
Do it. And hit buttons. Hit buttons as always. DM Lacar said it, so you have to do it. Sorry.
Oh, there's Minotaur race in here too. Might have to add the main page for 5e player options to my bookmarks. There could be another day of going through Malachite stuff.
Oh.
But for now, we're going to take a look at Cervidaens, a new deer-based ancestry by Thick Vic Victor. If you're on YouTube, you can follow along by clicking the link in the description. If you're on Twitch, I'm throwing it in the chat, pinning it for the next 30 minutes. Thick Vic
Grimbo. That's Grimbo's pen name. Thick Victor. Oh, that's lore now for me. He's gonna kill me. Okay.
Wait, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open it here. No, can I make it bigger? No. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you not gonna get any bigger? That's annoying. Come here. Come here. I'm not. Oh. Wait, no, I have another idea. One sec. I'm gonna make this as big as. Oh, of course it's a web P. Disgusting. That's why it's not getting bigger. Hey, hold on. You boink. Thank you. Oh no, this just not gonna. Oh, there we go. Ha ha! I'll make it bigger. So, oh, let's change the music because it's time to switch up the topic to the Cervidaens. So, ancestry, Cervidaens. The hunt had reached its apex. Having trailed the beast for hours, we knew it was cornered. I think they mean cornered, but I digress. Out of options, we readied our bows, all trained upon the bush the beast had leapt into. It was only when the first arrow flew into McCarthy's head that we understood the depth of our situation. We were not hunting the stag. It had been hunting us. Dun, dun, dun!
God damn. It's a little freaky, but I like it.
I also love that this person, Thick Vic Victor, put in that this is from a book of tales that must exist somewhere in everyone's world now. Ha ha!
Give me the lore so I can add it to my story.
Would you like to read how they became? They went from prey to predator.
Well, as you know, it is common knowledge that the wilderness, to some degree, has a will of its own. However, they may not be aware of how Mother Nature exerts her will upon the material plane. She watched as her children were mindlessly slaughtered by the civilized Ancestries, bringing low her creations for sport. None were a greater example than the deer. Hunted. Graceful and innocent, the deer were hunted to near extinction. Mother Nature noticed this and set out to even the odds. The next time the noblemen set out into the forest to hunt, they never returned.
So they're like material plane versions of the Cardinals instead of being celestials. Interesting.
But they're staunch protectors.
Hmm. Ooh, that next one, ancestral empathy. They're called to protect those around them. It's widely understood that meeting a Cervidaen with weapons holstered will lead to good things. So, like, if they're ready to fight, you've already done a bad thing.
You done messed up. You done messed up if their guns ablazing.
Redneck Hunter. I have one of the Redneck Hunter games. I love it.
Oh my god.
Never beaten it, but I love it.
They're not meant to be beaten.
No.
Kind of like how when people told me about GTA's story for the first time, I got very confused. I was like, "Yo, you're supposed to play the story."
I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
So yeah, GTA story with the Redneck Hunter games, just things that you don't complete.
Oh.
But why don't you tell us more about
how they're
them?
Forest ambassadors?
Yes.
Despite the initially
mean to be a
fierce response, Cervidaens quickly stepped up in an attempt to commune with the humanoid societies. After their awakening, okay, that's one way to do it. They set out in large groups trying to broker peace. In some places this worked, and the Cervidaens created safe spaces in society for the animalistic ancestries. In these societies, Cervidaens may be as common as humans. The forest and civilization brought together in a working harmony with a respect for Mother Nature. Where they couldn't broker peace, they retreated. They just left those folks. So, like, depending on where you are, maybe there's tons of animal ancestries, like Equinoi and Cervidaens. You could fit them into basically the same kind of awakening if you wanted to fit them into your world. Because Malachite never said what their origins were. You could use this origin for them. Mother Nature said, hey, stop ruining what I made, and awakened these creatures. Back in the day, maybe. You never know.
But I like the idea of them also being this ancient guardian creature race, very like Ghibli-esque, like Princess Mononoke-esque kind of. Where it's like, oh, if it was the DC, they'd be part of the green.
Yep.
Where like Mother Nature is just sick and tired of like the way things have been going. So as punishment, she's like, yo, I'm gonna set these guys loose. And like, if you want to survive, you'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah. The green is plant life. Ehwaz is correct. We think of the green as animals because Beast Boy is the wrong color.
Yeah, that's true. Technically, isn't Beast Boy part of the red? That's right.
Beast Boy's weird.
Yeah. Listen, Garth, it's not Garth's fault, all right? That boy's a genius.
He's trying his best.
He turned to a blue whale to gain the brain mass to contemplate how to turn into Starro. All right? Who's doing that?
He's out here trying his best. All right, I'm going to save all these images and just open them so we can actually zoom in and read them. I think it's like probably easier. It's easier if we can read them, you know? I'm also realizing he did not make them big. They're like not page-sized.
No.
They're small. Why you make them small, dude?
I don't know if that was intentional.
True. Probably wasn't. If it was made on the home brewery, I'm sure it wasn't intentional.
Oh, hell no. If it was made on the home brewery, I know it wasn't intentional. As somebody who has had to understand the home brewery, I know that was not intentional. But kudos to them. I hope they used the same guide I found to make their pictures because they did a great job.
This is cool stuff. Oh, interesting. There's no selected Cervidaen names, but there's a lore reason for it. So they named each other with the things they saw. Their names reflect nature that surrounds them. So wherever they pop up, Be like, this guy can be Blackrock, or this guy can be running water, that kind of thing. Which gives them a very, very like druidy, sagey feel, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think that's automatically the vibe I get from them. That druidic, sagicious vibe of like, yeah, we are guardians of nature. We're, you know, almost like I would imagine them being friends with the Furbolg.
Yes.
Like they would see Furbolg and be like, "Oh, what's going on, Furbolg?" Because Furbolg to me all sound like the grunts from Warcraft 2. Not World War, but Warcraft 2. Job's done. That's what Furbolg sound like to me. I am imagining that they're just like, "Oh, hey there, Mr. Deer," and they're just like, "Oh, what's going on, Furbolg, buddy?" Like they just don't even view them as a threat. They're just like, it's those stupid blue Shrek things again.
Bunch of winos. Ooh. So we got trait-wise. You want to tell us about some traits?
Well, you get a natural ASI of your choice.
Ooh.
By 2. Perfect. Let me decide what the hell this guy wants to do. Let's just cut the middleman. Let me decide, all right? On top of that, you're going to grant me the ever so lovely age of up to 150, which is a long time to be alive.
Yeah, especially for a deer.
Yeah, I'm not imagining a 150-year-old deer, but I'm also now imagining that your antlers are like insane.
True. Okay, the fact that you can be small or medium is weirding me out. I am seeing a lot of deer-related content where they are medium creatures or smaller.
Oh my god. You're a small deer, but you're just the gif of the deer taking off its claws.
No! The worst deer in existence! No!
I'm not sorry. I'm dying. I'll die for this.
The worst. Listen, I'm going to say it's a big old quadruped. I'm saying deer are usually large.
Not this deer. It's a tiny deer.
I'm just a baby.
Oh, this makes me so happy.
You get walking
It shouldn't
speed of
make me as
35
happy
feet.
as it does. Huh, okay. Not
Little,
too bad.
Little bonus on that. Okay.
And you do gain Sylvan as a base language.
Ooh.
Which is, I think, a fun one. And like a lot of other unique races, but actually very perfect for a deer race.
Yeah.
You have dark vision. Very fitting for a deer. Deer are nocturnal grazers, which is a unique thing to say. I feel like I know this literally because of, of growing up and having family that hunted. But they're also from South Carolina, so like that's what they did.
Fair. There
but
is a great episode of Craig of the Creek. I'm going to, I guess, spoil what the monster is, but there's an episode where his grandpa has something is coming in and like destroying his little like patch of fruits and vegetables, and they can't figure out what it is. And Craig is like, "Oh my God, we have to catch this monster. I'm gonna come up with all these traps." And whatever the monster is, it just keeps beating him because he's thinking of it like a fantasy thing, and it turns out it's actually a deer. but the way that Craig describes it up until that point is like some fantasy monster is attacking his grandpa's crops.
Which is so perfect for that show.
Mm-hmm.
I love that show. I don't love getting compared to characters from that show, but I love that show.
Let me guess. Craig's older brother.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of his name. That's okay. You have a cool girlfriend.
Yeah, it's not me. No, I'm just playing. She doesn't watch this. She'll never know. But on top of Dark Vision, what else do you gain, Okami? Because that's not all you gain.
You gain constant iteration. As a bonus action on your turn, you can shed your antlers. So in just 6 seconds, less than 6 seconds, presumably, because it's your bonus action, you just go, ugh! And they pop off the top of your head. While you have your antlers, though, you have a +1 bonus to AC while determining if a melee attack hits. When they're shed, you have a +1 bonus to AC when determining if a ranged attack hits or misses. When you finish a long rest, you may choose to grow your antlers back. That is such an interesting thing.
That is hella unique. I gotta say that. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
People are arguing on the comments of this post, like, oh, it takes deer a while to shed their horns, so why don't you give them some other ability, what have you? And I'm like, but they're not real deer.
They're magical nature guardian deer. They can have whatever magical horns they want.
Yeah. Look at this regal dude, the way he's staring into my soul.
He is like, yo, you think Smokey's bad? Smokey tells you only you can prevent forest fires. I tell you, you start a forest fire, I will choke you.
You want to get choke slammed, human?
He's like, I will put this sword down and I will choke you. Do you understand? Do not touch a damn thing. You are to come in this room. You are to touch nothing. Do I make myself clear or do you want to get choked? My deer keeps threatening to choke me.
It's an episode of Fantasy Scared Straight.
It's just the deer threatening to choke people. Like I said, this is what happens. We just devolve into whatever thoughts we have.
But we have multiple sub-races. Would you like to take us through the first sub-race?
I will happily take us through the Cervidaens. The most common of the Cervidaens. During the awakening, they were the first of all the bestial ancestries to make contact with the humanoid population. They have a reputation for being noble folk. I'm guessing this guy's a Cervidaens. Lent to their bestial ancestors. Lent to them by their bestial ancestors. They gain an increase of an ability score of their choice by 1. They have evasive movement. They know how to get out of danger. On your turn, you can spend 10 feet of movement to move 5 feet without provoking attacks of opportunity. You can do this as many times as your movement speed allows. Now, mind you, that means that you can get an average of 3 times because it costs you 10 feet for 5 feet of movement.
That's actually a very cool ability.
Oh, yeah. It's well balanced in that you can only... You're essentially allowed to move half of your movement speed without provoking an attack of opportunity. Is what it boils down to.
If one of you, like if I have a player who's using this ability, if you're not describing it like you're avoiding people, like you're in the Matrix, like Neo dodging bullets. You're like sliding out of the way of people's sword slashes and them trying to grab you. You're doing it wrong.
Oh yeah, and I'm slapping the character sheet out of your hand. But on top of that, you get ambassador. You gain you gain proficiency in persuasion if you did not have it already, and when a willing creature you can see makes a charisma, wisdom, or intelligence saving throw, you can use your reaction and to replace whatever modifier they would normally use with your charisma modifier. That is dope. It's like a bardic buff. You're literally, you have a reaction bardic inspiration.
Yeah. And they can use your proficiency bonus if you've got proficiency with whatever save they're trying to do. So you might as well pump your 3 things into charisma, man.
Yeah. Yeah, just be the charisma character for your team. It's like, hey, we got a charisma check to make. Well, who's going to do it? Obviously, our Cervidaens.
Be the paladin you were always meant to be. I was thinking at first, like, oh, you could be a sorcerer, but I feel like this fits in really well with being a paladin.
This has paladin written all over it.
Again, you can do whatever you want. We're not saying you have to, but this would build in real well into being a paladin.
Yeah. It's got all the makings of a paladin already.
And look at this guy. He's very paladin coded.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that guy is like, yo, I got faith.
I got faith and a
life.
stick up my ass. You're going to obey these rules.
Now, I need you to look at the next one, Okami, because this one is very much for you. Why don't you tell us about the next set of guys?
Next up, we've got the Dualsis. I'm going to assume they're using soft C's because of Cervidaens and Cervus. So Dualsis. They're descended from the moose of the largest forest. Moose? I cannot explain to you how terrifyingly large moose are. And to learn that they can swim. So people sometimes like go swimming and just a moose appears underwater. Terrifying. Sometimes they're under the ice. Terrifying.
I remember when you told me this the first time. You were like, do you know that a moose could just appear? You sent me a video one day at work. And it was just a moose underwater. And you were like, this is horrifying. I was just like, what is happening?
They're so scary.
Apparently, one of the things that Okami fears inadvertently is the moose.
Stop. Going for a swim. Oh God, it's coming at me. I would just resign to death, like when all the magic cards slapped across my windshield.
No, that was just the moment you knew you were going to die.
But these guys are large, calm, and powerful folk. I don't believe you from that look this one is giving me right now. But they're just as ready to charge ferociously into battle as their quadrupedal cousins. Yeah, that tracks. They carry their weight into the attacks they make, using their momentum to empower their strikes. Okay, that fits. You get to increase one ability score of your choice by 1. You have powerful build, like a bunch of the Equinoi had, and you also Goliaths, where your carrying capacity and how much you can push, drag, or lift counts as 1 size bigger than you. So you're coming out as small or medium. I would love to have one of these guys be small specifically, so that they have the powerful build feature, and when we get to momentum, I think that would be hilarious. Just charging you with their antlers right in the shins. But it's got Fury of the Patient. After initiative is rolled, you can choose to move up to your speed and take the attack or dash action, making only one attack when you do so. This does not replace your regular turn in the order. So basically, you can go right at the beginning of combat.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen that ability before, but just imagine that. Everyone's all ready. We're like, oh yeah, the DM is making the list of initiative order, like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna go first, this guy's gonna go first, and then your dual
All right, so
sys.
this moose just charges you.
Yeah. I'm coming. I'm the Juggernaut.
I'd be like, yo, what do you mean this moose is coming?
And in addition, they can move up to their speed when they use their momentum ability. If they move 20 feet straight towards a target and then hit them with a melee weapon attack, they add their proficiency bonus to the damage of that attack. That honestly is less than I expected it to be, but it's still something.
Have you ever felt fear?
This guy gets to go twice at the beginning of every combat.
Just cuz. Just cuz.
Aw. You have siblings? I had no idea. I was about to say, are they horses? And then I was like, no, I think this is a human. You're talking to it.
I love that that's your default, though. Like, wait.
I'm just a different kind of person, man.
That is true.
Speaking of different kinds of people, would you like to tell us about Rainifers?
Well, they're descended from the great northern caribou.
Ooh.
A unique magic stirs within them. Okay. All right. I'm not going to sit up here and read this further as if the term magic northern caribou ain't enough for me already. I'm not going to lie to myself. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm going to live my truth. Magic northern caribou is everything I've ever wanted to read in a single sentence. I think I've reached the magical pinnacle that many people speak of. The fabled promised land. These guys apparently are nightmare fuel.
Just a bit.
Within them, they're called by the magic within them to light the way for others, riding the wind and guiding travelers through harsh winters of the north. When they find their true calling, their magical abilities grow. They gain also an ability, an ASI of 1 of your choice. And they gain guiding light. You learn the light and guidance cantrips. When you cast light, small parts of your body, such as fingers, your tongue, or nose, count as objects for the cantrip. You are Rudolph, the magic caribou.
Okay, also in a very nasty way. I was gonna say. Well, I was thinking if you also want to say, like, when you use guidance, parts of you light up. You could have your tongue light up and show you where to go when you're having relations.
Not where I thought you were gonna go. Deeper than I thought you were gonna get, but I'm kind of glad that's where it went. I went to a much darker place, a simpler, darker place.
I was just looking at Ehwaz's name, and I was like, what will Ehwaz torment me with later? I'm just going to get it out of the way now.
With that being said, they also gain North Star. Starting at 3rd level, you can use your bonus action to harness the magic coursing through your veins, stirring the wind around you and lifting you off the ground. The state lasts for a minute or until you end it as a bonus action. During it, you have a flying speed equal to your walk speed and resistance to cold. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, regaining all uses expended on a long rest. You literally can become a magical reindeer.
Why wouldn't you want to be Rudolph? Also, the adding cold damage is a very nice touch.
It's an accurate touch, though. It's lore appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, we find only the premium stuff that's actually worth using. I think this is a silly, it's silly, it's powerful, it's well thought out. I love this. I personally love this.
They can use light and
What about
guidance.
I love this. I love this. Everyone's like, no, what about Common Light? I came in for the parts I know. I came in for the parts that I can't. What is this about? Now hold on.
Now hold on a minute. I say.
I say now. Is Foghorn Leghorn canceled? I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't know. I recently learned that Speedy Gonzalez was removed and Mexico like put up a thing that he needs to be back because they like him as their representative. So he's back. I was like, what? What is happening in the cartoon world right now?
I feel like though that's like it's kind of what they did. Like I don't think I've heard anybody complain about Pepe Le Pew for being a bad representation of the French so much as I've heard him being a bad representation of consent.
Yeah.
That's really what got him canceled.
Yeah. People are weird.
Yeah, you can't explain everybody. Part of the problem.
There's actually a notes page, which is kind of cool. Oh, it's actually a like real things that they wanted to talk about. Okay. So they use Tasha's ability score thingies, which are like Tasha basically said, like you could choose whatever you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be part of it. But like Malachite was saying, if you think it makes sense for your race or subrace to get specific upgrades because of who or what they are, do that. But if your player wants to be like, listen, it all comes down to how your DM's running the game and then like the chats that you have. Even if the rules say blah, 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 talk to your DM. If you think your Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer would have very specific traits, you can go with that. Just talk to your DM about it.
Yeah, it's really just about having the conversation. If you don't have the conversation, your DM will never know.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Also true. Notes, this ancestry is strong. It has some abilities, yes, but listen, I literally had a conversation with Grimjack about this today. Like, yeah, a lot of the homebrew stuff, or just stuff in general, makes your players feel super strong, but like the 2014 rulebook says like how rare magic should be and blah 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 blah. I don't know anyone who is running 5e like that.
Nobody.
Like, you're all super powerful. So, listen, as long as it's not like nobody else has a single ability, it's not really that powerful.
Yeah, like I think the one thing.
That's a good point, Ehwaz.
I think the one thing I like to point out, especially to my players, is if you want to bring me something homebrew, expect me to use it against you too.
Yeah. If you can do it, that means the DM can do it too, and vice versa.
Like, oh, you want to use this collection of spells? Well, guess what? Somebody knows these spells as well, better than you. sorry, but this is the way the world works. Because just much like leveling up, and I say this to anyone who believes that they are not as strong because they haven't leveled up in a while. You don't want to level up. Stay exactly. I quote Billy Madison here. Stay young forever, for as long as you can. Don't grow up, all right? Because the world grows up.
And also,
And
if you're really into a campaign, the faster you level up, the faster the campaign's going to end one way or the other.
yeah.
In most cases.
Yeah, and well, yeah. Unless it's a 2024 campaign and you just hit level 2, you got 18 levels of adventure to go. God, I'd feel so exhausted. I'm exhausted thinking about running a campaign of that caliber. Like the idea of having to run that.
Sexy curses. I actually do have. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be sexy, but there are some curses that I'm looking at for our player
now?
who's obsessed with going to brothels. Like, oh, how can I ruin him?
Ooh. Give him the penis curse.
I cast penis curse.
Give him wibbly wobbly, wibbly woodle. You're always a noodle.
His backup character is basically a pro wrestler that runs a traveling brothel. You guys could be rival companies.
I love this already. Look at this lore that builds itself.
It's nice. It's real nice. Except he wants to do it with elves all the time. I don't know if that's what he's into IRL, but he's usually into much nastier, weirder things than elves specifically. But for some reason in game, he always wants to find an elf lady.
I think it's the ears.
Could be the ears.
I've heard that's a thing for people.
Could be. Oh man, he's gonna be like, what? Cannon has a. That's his character's. His backup character's name is Cannon. Cannon has a rival brothel, and it's all like exotic scalies. Like, what's happening? That's what it is. I would also like to put in Dungeon Mommy's party also runs a brothel in their campaign, but their actual adventuring party name is Pussy Power, so I feel like they're on a different level than you or Cannons.
You think that?
It's true. Oh, and then the rest of these notes are just like why I chose blah, 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 and how they relate to other things in lore and their actual creatures. But basically, yeah, he's saying, yo, I made these choices, but this is all homebrew. They're why I made the choices. If you don't like them, you can change them. No one is gonna stop you.
I still think the moose one is is my favorite though down here. He's like, yo, moose, kind of chill.
Until combat begins.
It's like, yo, if you don't want the moose to mess up your day, don't mess up the moose's day.
Yeah, basically.
It's like, yo, the moose is cool as long as you're cool. If you're not cool, the moose is not cool. And I'm looking at this guy. This guy is yoked up.
Oh, right? Yeah.
I don't want any problems with this guy. All right. This guy looks like this guy looks like he's trying to steal my lunch money as I'm eating lunch. It's like the money's gone. He's like, yeah, I'm stealing tomorrow's. Like, what the?
I need to be ready.
I need your money in advance. I need you to not get comfortable with it.
I actually, in reading the end of these notes, at the very end, he says he has one more race that's already ready. I had these two races together, but I felt like Cervidaens would be fine with Equinoi as Hoof World. The other race that he's made is wolves, like wolf humanoids.
Look at that in like a dog episode.
Yeah. I feel like Hoof
Or
World
like
had to stay Hoof World.
Yeah.
But that being said,
I think we did a good job of hoofing it.
We definitely hoofed our way through this. So that means it's poll time, and not like the brow, brow, brow.
Yeah, we're not trying to work our way through college.
Yeah. But it's POLL poll time.
What a terrible. I feel horrible.
We're just off the rails without DM Lucara. It's bad.
We really are.
It's real bad. How the voting works. We're going to put this poll up. You have 24 hours from the end of the stream to put in your votes for what you want next week's topic to be. It used to be the community had one vote, but whoever puts in a vote, your vote is counted now. We're going straight democracy. It's just we put the actual like big poll goes in the DM Roundtable chat, so all the DMs get a vote, except generally speaking, it's the Roundtable's inner circle, which is the three of us regulars who are the ones who vote. The other people just ignore the votes anyway. So it's very easy right now for the community to outvote us if you really want to see something.
Yeah, you guys are actually starting to outnumber us regularly, which is good. We like
I believe also that okay, so if you're on YouTube, I'm posting it in the chat. I will actually make a real poll on Twitch that'll run for 5 minutes. But if you're within the 24 hours, you can leave a comment on the VOD on YouTube. You can leave it in the Discord. You can DM one of us, that sort of thing.
Okami's poll might be the kind that pays for college, though. Just
true. I gotta do what I gotta do.
he's got to make the ends meet. You know, what would you do if your son was at home crying alone on the bedroom floor because he's hungry? Yes, I just started quoting City High, and I don't regret my life.
If you're unsure what any of the options are, 3D prints are, we look through some STL files that are available, talk about how we'd use them, where we'd use them, that sort of jazz. We've actually never done a 3D prints episode. It never wins the vote. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to remove it.
I think this might be the last try for it. Yeah.
If you guys want to see us go through some 3D prints, feel free to vote for that. Homework as a poll option is just something that will take multiple episodes for us to get through. It might be like
it's been a while
since
we've done the homework.
Yeah, we've done one-shot supplements recently, which is just something we can definitely make it through in one episode. But if you want to see us do something big and like have a chat about it, totally. The other ones I think are pretty self-explanatory. Spell subclasses and zines. I do not have too many zines, so even if zines wins, like zines won't regularly pop up on the polls because I don't have that many to go through.
It's like it can't be an option because there's not that many options.
Yep.
It's the one bit of content we don't have 5 years of.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys have heard me make that joke. How I was describing to DM Shin like how much content I have, like just in my bookmarks alone, we have like the next 4.5 years worth of content. And like 2 weeks ago, I sent a message to Grimjack, one of our friends, Kenbei, I don't think he's ever been to a DM Roundtable stream, but he is occasionally in Okamigakure Plays and hangs out in the Discord sometimes. It was his birthday, and I was like, yo, Grim, I want to do something special for him because he's been kind of down lately. Can you give me some ideas? Because like I don't have the mental bandwidth to plan anything for him right now. And I feel like Grim completely missed the first part of my statement. And well, like a zine is specific to like it's supposed to be like an 8-page thing that opens up and has like a few things. I would say probably a dungeon magazine would end up being homework, or maybe a one-shot supplement. They are pretty long.
We can look through some of the old dungeon, some OSR magazines. I have the downloads of them.
That kind of stuff. That could also those could also be topics though, for sure. Like a straight topic, like let's go through dungeon magazine chapter, blah 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 blah. We can even look up Dragão, which I found out recently on a comment of one of my videos. There's a Brazilian version of Dungeon Magazine that is totally different from the Dungeon Magazine we had. It's not a translation, it's an entirely different book. So I said that to Grim, and I think he missed the first part, and he just started sending me homebrew, and I was like, why are you sending me homebrew for Kenbei's birthday? And he goes, I'm like, what, why? He's like, you said you can't plan anything. I was like, bro, I got 4.5 years of content and bookmarks alone.
Yeah. It's like, do you know how insulting it is to send me homebrew? In this case, tonight's case, it was really good. We got sent the good stuff.
Yeah.
And once again, it was dope. Malachite popped in
I know.
and got to hear us review. I feel like that's a tier up for us.
Yeah. To have the creator in there while we do it, that was sick. Thank you, Ehwaz, for the suggestion and for having him come. That was so cool.
That was super dope. We're not holding out on you, Ehwaz.
No, we wouldn't.
But Ehwaz, I don't know if you heard, we're gonna be playing my game. I don't know if you might want to join as a player.
Ooh. Oh, that's sick! I didn't know that the Final Fantasy 14 TTRPG came out, and I saw it at my local store the other day, and I was like, oh. I was like, oh, that's something that I'm sure somebody is going to rip soon enough.
Oh yeah. Already probably in the works. Well, we'll figure it out then.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to write what their actual subclasses are to make it fit more into this theme. I'll make sure they all seem the same. So I'll put in their subrace names rather than what the name of the page is. Oh, geez. Okay, well, I don't need you to add the formatting, thanks. I'll type it myself, I guess.
No, it wants to do it for you.
Champion of virtue. Bloop. Oh, I will rearrange them in alphabetical order, and then it will fit into the proper theme. Oh, Ooh. No votes from the community right now, eh?
We win?
Ehwaz, you can send it to me whenever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
That's not good.
I'm sorry to hear that, Ehwaz. All the positive energy out to your family.
I'm lighting up my horn, right? Oh, it sounds really, really sexual, even though...
That sounded terrible, but
that sounded
I know
really bad. I was trying to make an Equinoi reference, okay?
You tried. Hey. You tried.
I did. It's true. Just out here tooting my horn. I'm going to throw these options over here as just regular things. You tell me which one, and I will put it in the list. Oh, actually, Champion of Virtue is going to be first alphabetically. Blah, 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 boom. Then Sovereign of Knowledge. Fix this, because it's technically a different page. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Let me put these in. Pop. And then gotta come up here. I'm gonna put in the Cervidaens as well. Also, just as a heads up, if anyone's ever playing a campaign with me, a campaign of mine, or even if you're not playing a campaign of mine and you're using stuff in the repository, yes, if you want to use something in the repository, you should in fact read its contents first.
I'm sorry. What? That seems oddly specific. Yeah. Yeah, that's duly noted.
And they're up there for a reason. We've gone through them. You can even... Cool thing is, lots of stuff on here, obviously, we've gone through. But also, if any of you are members of the pack or above, and you're coming through the repository, and you see something we haven't gone over, but you see it here, tell us. And I'll bring it up again, and we'll talk about it, and it's already here.
Ooh, that's very true. Sorry, I'm clacking away my keyboard because I came up with an idea. So if you've been hearing clacking all day, I apologize. I have this terrible mechanical keyboard that is the only keyboard working for me besides my laptop one. But I like the sound of this.
So yeah, it's always open. I've been thinking about something specifically related to the repository where I give players in my campaigns access to the repository. And I was thinking that like you'll get access to it if you play in a campaign of mine for sure. That's one way. But I was also like, I think when I start paid DMing, obviously I will also give those players access. And then I was like, oh, technically, if I am paid DMing, they are paying for it anyway. And I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, technically, they're just... And you know what you could do? You could even have a paid DM league. Like, hey, you run a campaign, and it costs X amount to join it.
There's so many options. There's so many things. It's going to be great.
It's going to be as magical as you make it, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, actually, here's the, since we were talking about this before, I actually have two different supplements. There's a Half-Blood supplement and a Hybridizing Races supplement that are in here. If you want to take a peek at them, DM Shin, and like take the ideas off them. I believe we went over the Hybridizing Races one on DM Roundtable, but I think Half-Bloods was already in here. Oh, it's one of those great... that's a really cute goblin. Distracted. Very, very easily distracted. It's one of those great homebrewery things that was made before they changed over the system. So you gotta... Oh, this is actually GM binder. This isn't even homebrewery. I was like, this looks weird. But again, you can do the view source trick that you use on homebrewery to come and read the source because the source won't be weird shaped.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Hmm.
I can't say that goblin titties. You know, it's not something that I feel like I should think about as much as I do.
We're really off the rails here.
we really fall apart on DM Lakara.
It's true. Ooh, speaking of goblins, there's also the Vril in here, which nobody talks about. What just happened? Why is that an Instagram link to nothing? To somebody's butt? What?
Right?
Yeah, how did...
What?
What?
Uh,
What? Oh no. All the other links are fine. How did that happen?
Well, that's
What?
a new one.
What?
Who corrupted your link?
What? What's happening? Is it you?
I think you just got visited by the ghost of Thursday.
That's crazy.
You just got double cheeked up.
It's definitely from this. What just happened? Can I have this? Yeah, I want this. Give me this. No, I don't. How did that happen?
Yeah, that's a wild one. I don't.
And like, not even in English. That's the crazy part. What was that? Who did that? I'm
That's
so
amazing.
confused.
That's amazing.
But there's
That's so amazing.
Vril are purple goblins that can yell really loud.
That's amazing. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the series of events that have taken place.
What's happening? Oh, no, don't do that. Oh, you're going to do this to me? I see. Hold on. Adding that stupid object thing. Okay, now it's going to Vril. I don't know where that came from because I don't go on Instagram enough to find stuff in other languages like that. Now I'm worried that...
Sure?
How did that happen?
You might want to check your Instagram logins. Make sure that nobody's, been logged in as you, or you don't have any strange login requests.
What was that? Okay, well that was interesting for the stream.
That was a lot.
All right, I'm just gonna... Oh man, this is a link that died. What's happening here? There's a dead link in there. Don't do that.
A dead link in there. Oh God, what dark timeline is this? Did Ganon win?
What's happening?
I'm sorry. You said dead links.
Oh, that took my brain a while to process. There you go. Boom. Okay. I also changed the empowered because Grimjack said he wanted to be the class I didn't like, and I assumed that meant super soldier. I'm not worrying about weapons breaking as a system. Like, it's not happening. So I added no super soldiers to the empowered section.
He wants to be an idol, really?
I get the impression he did not read any of it because he was like, "Oh, I want this power and that power," and he was like, "I'm gonna use these." And I was like, "I mean, they have astounding powers. That is the class's whole shtick. They get a superpower, basically, when they level up."
Wait. Does he realize that? Like, how is he going to multi-class into this now?
Oh no, this is another one of his backup characters.
I see.
This backup character came about because I told him that if you're in the Forgotten Realms and you're gonna be an artificer and you're on the Sword Coast, you're going to have to be a gnome. There are no other artificers on this coast, realistically. And he was like, no, I want to be a drow. And I was like, a drow specifically would make no sense unless you died and were reincarnated and the body that came up was drow. That would make total sense. And he was like, no, I want to be born a drow. And I was like, okay, but like, it's not gonna, you would have no reason to be here. There is, in fact, a drow colony that is on the other side of Faerun that has artificers and everyone does arts and crafts stuff. But like, they would have no reason to leave. They loved living in their one little community.
I was gonna say, I imagine that they're not really gung-ho about leaving.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing about a lot of these other races that you have to understand. They don't want to leave. Like, being an adventurer is a unique thing.
A leprechaun? I mean, you'd be like a Mixelplick type. So I would say that's fine. You can do whatever you want. From space.
Leprechaun in space? No, not that one.
Oh, that would be interesting. You know, alternatively, he could say that he's someone from Halrua who also missed the boat to
Oh my goodness.
a beer. That would work too, to be an artificer, but he's like, no, I want to be a drow. Nah.
No, that's okay. Let him find out that he knows how to build nothing.
Yeah, like I feel like once he tries to write a character on paper, he's gonna be like, no, because he doesn't read his sheet as it is, and it's digital, and it does all the math for him.
Don't give him shit. Give him a goddamn thing. If his character dies, I get to make his next character. I'm making him a human fighter. I'll be like, if you can't do anything, this is all you're gonna get to do.
We're bad people. Yeah, I'm just gonna, before I end the stream, I'm just gonna highlight more links and make sure, reading from the bottom, that none of them are Instagram links to butts. I don't know how that happened. In Farsi, no less. That's like the weirdest part.
It's impressive, to say the least. Definitely the most impressive part is that it is in that, of all things. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, son of a bitch. Another dead link. What? I have no idea where the... On the job experience feat. What?
Well, Okami, I am going to head off because I should be getting to sleep for work tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. I guess I'm deleting on the job experience because I have no idea what link that was supposed to go to. Oh, I see what happened here. If you hit backspace too many times, it deletes the link below it.
Ooh.
Good to know.
Hmm.
A troll. An armored gorilla! I guess actually you can hear me beating my chest. It picks that up? No. I thought it did for a second, but now it's just breathing hard. But yeah, we will see all of you next week. We'll be back. again, if you are watching the VOD within 24 hours from when the stream ended, you can leave us a message or send us a DM or something.
Send a carrier pigeon.
Yeah. Let us know. I can't figure out the joke.
Are you? I was waiting for the brain cells.
Oh no, not a Cenobite.
Oh.
I don't know enough old horror to get it. I know what a Cenobite is only from oh no, Terradrome, the game.
Such a strange game.
Yeah, we will be back next Monday at 8 for more DM Roundtable. But this week, I'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. For more Horizon Forbidden West. And then I'll be back Friday starting at 3 p.m. because it's a thank you stream. I don't know how long I'll be going, but I'll be starting at 3 p.m. Marvel Rivals, come and join us. There's so many more names. I spent some time over the weekend before I went over to see my family for Easter, going in and fixing up all the lines of text that are supposed to scroll across the screen for the thank you stream. There are so many more of you right now, and that's cool as hell. Some of you are even doubled up, like DM Shin. You guys didn't have to do that, but you did.
Shut your mouth. We did it.
Thank you.
It's happened. We're here now. Accept it.
Okay. Well, DM Shin, how can people find you if they're looking for you this week?
You don't? I'll be honest, I usually float between sections of the internet, but I can always be found if you @ me in the Discord. I will appear. I am not a disembodied voice. I am real. And I will respond, I promise. Looks suggested that border. Oh my god.
I have no idea what the pink thing's name is, which is crazy. I know Finster. I'm guessing Finster's the troll.
When you said Finster, I was like, you didn't realize it, did you?
Is he? Finster's like a when they use the Z wave to do the same thing Marvel did with the Axis event and turn all the good people bad and the bad people good. He like became such a nice guy, and then it's not Rita, it's I think it's Lord Zed's daughter or something, comes back and goes to kill him. And the Rangers are like, no, he was such a good guy. No. And he like made a little version of himself out of clay. He decided when he was a good guy, he would never use his magical clay again. And he made like a little version of himself to be like, goodbye, Power Rangers. I love you guys. We're great. And then he dies.
Uh-oh. Ehwaz said we gotta have a conversation.
Oh no.
I don't know what you did. I'm gonna pray for your soul.
I'm gonna figure out that pink thing's name. I have the book.
All I know is Ivanu's successfully sold drugs to a bunch of kids. And our parents took us to the movies to see it.
It's true. Walk to your doom.
My parents paid money to let me watch a grown man sell these kids drugs.
Wait. What? Is it? I have to go open the book again. It's like right outside my door. But yeah, we will head out for the week.
We will see you guys next week. Same time. For less time, probably.
Oh. Yeah, probably. I don't think it'll be as long as this one. Until then, have fun in all your games, stay safe, and enjoy yourselves. Okay, bye!
Also, charisma's not a good dump stat.
Neither's con. Don't make con your dump stat.
Never make con your dump stat. Actually, charisma's a great dump stat. Con is a terrible dump stat.
Bye, Twitch.